Hello and welcome once again to the Forward Compatible Podcast. This is episode 23 for July 17th, 2012. Actually, should we call it 23? Or
23 part 2.
23 version 2.
There
No,
you go.
23.5. Nah. Well, what happened was we actually got through for those of you who follow us on Facebook already know this, we got through a full recording session 2 days ago on Sunday, which is when we typically record, and we had some technical issues.
Tony fucked up.
Yeah. I kind of kicked over the recording device. Well, not kicked it
Computer.
completely over. What is it? A Mac Mini?
went.
we're using?
A Mac Mini.
I kind of pulled
Yo,
it.
Apple,
I pulled
I
the
know.
cord. It slid while it was compressing.
Yeah.
And we lost everything. And it was
2 hours of my life
Yeah, it was-
gone in the blink of an
It was
eye.
a good show too. and
He
it was
rage
just-
quit. He rage quit.
We rage quit that night. We were just like, screw it. We were all pretty upset that night, so we decided to walk away.
Except when we got those Cheetos. No,
those
yeah.
cheese puffs.
Yeah, cheese
Those-
puffs. Yeah, cheese puffs.
those-
that made you happy.
those did
If
make
you ever
me feel a
pissed
little
off,
bit
eat
better.
some cheese puffs. Trust me, you'll be pretty happy after
Yeah.
that.
So anyway, we all walked away. We calmed down a bit, and we're back to give it another
Replace
shot.
the window.
We're literally going to be trying to bring the same energy from the other show. Yeah, literally on the same subject matter that we all discussed. And
Hey, I chugged 3 Mountain Dews before we started. We're good.
we're good to go.
All right. Well, let's kick it off right. Dick pics.
Regardless.
There we go.
My name's Tony, and I'm joined, as always, by my fellow podcasters, Mark and Jason. And like we alluded to a couple days ago, we're on a third setup in 3 weeks. We're
We're still playing with everything.
still playing with everything.
Still getting used to it a little bit.
What had happened, which I actually forgot to mention last week, was the situation with Joe. I don't know who's been following on the Facebook or on the website, what have you. He decided to take a little break from the podcast side. He's got a young child at home, and he's doing his dad thing and stuff. So
He's taking a break. He's
yeah,
taking a break.
He's not gone. Nothing happened. Nobody needs to worry. But the thing is, he owned all the equipment, so we're kind of switching stuff around. Yeah,
We're trying
Yeah.
new things.
yeah,
Mike's sounding pretty good so far.
We're in that experimental
Still
phase.
need some pop filters. They're in the mail somewhere.
yeah. They're in the mail, coming in from Amazon. We bought some really sweet mics that we never got to work quite right.
Yeah, I returned that today, and I got a really sweet
Capture
webcam.
card, right? Webcam.
Well, I did a webcam. I already have a capture card, so.
That'll all be coming into play soon. We got a lot of cool stuff in the
Also,
works.
if you were been on the YouTubes as of like 1 a.m. yesterday, I did upload a video of me playing Half-Life 2 because I was
Yay!
bored at like midnight or so.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
So let me know what you think about it because I had fun with it.
Yeah, I haven't even seen it yet. I'm going to watch it tomorrow.
You guys are awful people.
Well, dude, you just put it up. But yeah, we're going to definitely be doing some more stuff like that. A lot more entertainment coming in. So, but besides that, I guess we could kick off the show with our weekly roundtable and catch everybody up on what we've been playing since the last time we all spoke.
Well, I guess since I didn't have this in last week, I started playing Half-Life 2 again. I was doing some Metro 2033 because I was trying to record in that. I was having some technical difficulties as well, and my Fraps wasn't my paid version for some reason. I don't know why. So
Womp womp.
I was getting 30-second recordings. I'm like, why is this happening? And then I looked it up, like, oh, that's the free version. So I got my copy up again. So
We're just having the greatest
oh yeah.
tech week.
So I have some 30-second videos that are not what I want to post. So I didn't post those because they're garbage. Anywho, so I have that all worked out now. And then by the time I actually got it working, I didn't want to play Metro anymore. So I went on to Half-Life. From last show, since you didn't hear, because nobody heard it.
I heard it.
Yeah, yeah. These three heard it.
Just me, because I have the headphones.
Oh, yeah, that's also
Oh, no,
true.
our correspondent from Cairo.
Yeah, our correspondent from Cairo also was present.
You guys missed that running gag from last week. Everybody
We'll
did.
have to bring that one
Yeah,
back.
we'll bring
Yeah.
it back. We'll catch up on our correspondent. from Cairo.
Yeah. So I did some MLB. I actually got one of the Red Faction games. I did get to play it. So far, it's really cool. Like, going from games where you can not destroy like anything to a game where you can destroy probably on 90% of the level is pretty awesome. I must say. Impressive.
Sweet.
Yeah, so Minecraft.
Oh, yeah.
We go again. More Minecraft.
Did you build me an underground mine? Because that's what I usually do.
I do have a gigantic shaft underground.
I was actually watching.
Were you
him
trying-
play-
no,
I was watching him play with his shaft.
I was.
I was going to go with a joke.
Right now,
Still-
I'm currently battling a lava stream that just does not want to die. Yeah, and it's pissing me off because I'm trying to get the achievement for laying down 500 meters of track, and I'm about like 468, and I've run into a lava stream. If anybody doesn't know, you have to build pretty much a straight line of track to get this achievement. And I'm down in my underground maze, and I'm literally like
I love this game.
90% of the way there, and there's this damn lava stream, and it's pissing me off. I've been fighting with it for like 3 hours. I did not burn down my house this week.
Oh,
I
that's good.
actually fortified my house this week. And then Andy and I spent about 4 hours trying to ride a pig.
Andy, our correspondent
Yeah.
from Cairo.
Cairo correspondent. We literally spent a good, and no exaggeration, probably about an hour and a half trying to dig a pit to capture the pig in, to put the saddle on the pig,
To then ride it.
to then ride the pig off the cliff.
I love this game.
I'm not lying. Why'd you give me that
Well, I
look?
believe you. I believe you. This is just like it's.
And then I baked some bread.
I've literally had so much fun with this game over the years because it's literally just stuff like this is just so entertaining.
I've always wanted to play it, and I waited for the 360 version, which I know it's gotten a lot of crap from the diehard fans. But
Oh yeah, because that's just being like, well, we had it 2 years
yeah,
ago or
which
whatever.
but for what it is, it's awesome. I love playing it, and I love playing it.
Because I'm
on
one
my
of those
console.
guys
Yeah.
at GameStop, like, oh, I was playing it last year at .05. I can't remember when I said it.
I rebuilt.
I liked
I-
Minecraft before they sold out.
I bought it
Ooh,
in
back up
beta.
there.
You know, that kind of thing. That's
Yeah.
that's what I tell people.
You
just,
know, and that's all fine and dandy, but you know what? I don't care. I'm enjoying it on 360, and
oh,
I'm
yeah,
enjoying my
it's
split
still gonna be
screen.
enjoyable.
And honestly, to craft things is much more simplistic, which kind of makes the game flow a little bit better.
Oh yeah, I literally when I started Minecraft, I'd have a guide up because I was like, what? Because there's just so much stuff.
There's just too much. That's why, for somebody like me who's just kind of getting their feet wet with Minecraft, the 360 version is perfect.
Yeah.
I can kind of learn at my own pace and not be
And
completely
then-
overwhelmed.
It's also the same thing like with like Battlefield 3 PC versus console. If you're not playing on PC and then going to console, you don't know what you're missing.
yeah.
If you're just playing on the 360, you don't realize there's 64-person multiplayer / more options
yeah,
on Minecraft. When
yeah.
Well, the good thing though is that they are going to do regular updates to try to catch it up for the most part.
Because I know it's a few versions behind right
Yeah,
now.
there's
The one
another
thing
update coming
that
up in about a month.
The one thing it really needs to like, I don't know, stop some of that flack is get it where they can have the mods working. Because like literally the best thing about Minecraft at this point is turned into the mods and texture packs that people have made. There's
Yeah.
like Tron texture packs. I use like an HD one, which like the game looks pretty.
Yeah,
actually
I've
good.
seen the HD
Yeah,
one.
so like I got that. The maps people make are just incredible.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you got to think some of the best player made maps for your
Well,
games.
what originally sold me on it was late one night on the YouTubes, found somebody actually rebuilt the entire first dungeon from Ocarina of Time, the
nice.
Great Deku Tree, in Minecraft, and then they walked through it, and all the switches worked and everything, and the little chests and whatnot, and it was like
This
what
is-
the hell?
This is also what was amazing about Trials Evolution when it came out is the level editor was so crazy. People have like remade games
Yeah,
in Trials
yeah.
Evolution. Like
Well, I mean, the hell,
Doom
you
is
can-
in Trials Evolution.
Yeah. Interesting segue, really quick, not to get too far off the topic, but Fortnite is kind of going to follow in a little bit of the Minecraft setting.
It's gonna look cool. Yeah. And
But you can actually play in a peaceful setting where all you do is build. Also,
Yeah.
they came out and said that the other day.
yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I'm looking forward to it just because it's made by Epic. It's gonna use the Unreal 4 engine, which they demoed off this year as well. So it's gonna be cool. I've
PC
been one of the
only
few
right
people
now,
who
by the
thought
way.
it was really cool right from the get go. So yeah.
Cool. Well, that was pretty much it. Just Minecraft for me this week. What about you, sir?
I did a little bit more Vanquish, and
You done yet?
Huh?
Are you done with it yet?
No, because I'm going really slow. I'm
It
going.
takes
Well,
forever.
I'm going on the hardest setting, so I'm going slowly through the game because I'm trying to pick all the
Trophies.
achievements up I can in one run through. So, I mean, when there's a section that requires you to do something really specific and I fail, I
you have to redo
I
it.
kill myself on purpose just so I
Yeah.
don't advance past the checkpoint. So, yeah, it's taken a while. And most of my week was consumed with Gears of War 3 with our correspondent from
Cairo?
Well, we could constantly. Last
Was
week-
he in Spain?
Yeah, he was. I think he was in Spain at that time. He was coming live from Barcelona.
Yeah. Soccer matches were going on as well. It was pretty loud.
Yeah.
So we did a ridiculous amount of that, and then the rest of it, I'm actually getting confused on what was this week and what was last week now. 'cause
Well, we were
2
playing
days
Gears
late.
as well.
Mark
I think
joined us one night.
Jason, did you join in on this?
No, I was the week before.
Darn it. Okay.
When I carried the team.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is when he supposedly carried the team.
Supposedly.
'Cause, I bought a bunch of stuff, but I haven't played it yet. Between the Steam sale and
That sexy
I actually
sale?
just picked up Ghost Recon Future Soldier.
Very nice.
Did you take it out of the plastic
Still
yet?
in the cellophane. And I re-picked up Ghostbusters because we were talking about that last week, and it got me in the mood.
Last week, as in 2 days ago.
No, last week as in.
I can't remember
last
what
week.
happened. He's like,
Well, because we were late last week too because of the
No,
equipment problems.
amazing.
So it was literally last week because it was last Tuesday we recorded. We got to get out of this habit though.
I know it sucks.
This Tuesday
that
night
and I've
stuff
had like
is-
the same work schedule 2 weeks in a row. I don't know where I'm at right now.
I got to be at work in like 6 hours. This is gonna be great.
Day off.
If you weren't here, you'd be on Xbox right now, so don't even try it.
Oh, no, definitely. I'd be there till 1 in the morning. And
Yeah,
this is
you-
way more fun.
At least this way, when we're done recording, then I can have my TV back. I don't have to wait for you guys to finish your Wave 50 in Horde mode.
It's a lot hotter in this room than it was 2 days ago.
It is. It is.
I
Not
might
my
have to
fault.
Strip before this podcast is over.
And we will take pics and put them on Facebook.
Nitpicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I played. I guess we could start off with news.
All right, I stripped. I'm itchy.
I got dollars.
Shirt's so itchy. All right. I'm not going to be able to sit comfortably this whole show. All right. So news. I got 4 stories that seem to be interesting to me, and hopefully we can get some good discussion going. I'm going to continue on with what we were doing last week with the short stories, but with a longer discussion period of it. So let me know if you still like it. I think I only got like one good comment about it. But let me know. So first thing, the Battlefield 4 beta is confirmed to be in Medal of Honor Warfighter.
Yay!
Actually, if you log into Origin right now, they give you a pop-up message saying reserve your spot. And
Like
it's-
right now?
right now, yeah,
Right now.
right now.
This got confirmed like 5 seconds after the rumor popped out. Usually they'll let you like sit on it for a couple
Yeah, they'll let you
days.
stew on
Yeah,
it. You know,
but
let
it-
the hype build a little
What,
bit.
what happened
No.
is they put it right up directly on the Origin store where they had the reserve your reserve this, get your beta copy of that.
Well, mine's going to come in my Medal of Honor copy, so I'm not too upset about that. But what's disheartening to me is I was at least hoping until they confirmed this that their next year's game was going to be Bad Company 3. I didn't want Battlefield 4 yet.
Yeah, I would have.
Battlefield
I would have
4
preferred Battlefield 3 or Bad Company 3.
Because Battlefield 4 to me seems like a logical launch title because I don't know how many more Bad Companies you're going to get out anyway, and you could have kind of closed out the trilogy and left the series alone on the 360 PS3, and then you moved on to your PS4, 720, Xbox, whatever the hell you want to call
The
it,
Nextbox.
and you're all set with
I like it.
Battlefield 4 as one of your launch or shortly after launch titles. It would be your first big, massive shooter, something to really showcase the power of the new console.
So have you seen Kelly's Heroes yet?
I have not.
God,
I know you told me about that last
Clint
time.
Eastwood, Terry
I've been
Savalas, Donald
slacking.
Sutherland,
I'm
probably
slacking
somebody
some.
else of matter.
Yes, that other guy with the hair and the ears,
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah, you gotta check that movie out if you like Bad Company. That's what it was based on.
Again, what initially sold me on Bad Company way back in the day was the little trailers that they released on Xbox. I touched base on them a little bit before, but check them out. I still got to show these guys because we were so depressed and covered in Cheeto dust on
That
Sunday.
bag
I
got
forgot.
toasted.
But I'm going to show them tonight. If you guys didn't see them, then check them out. I believe they're still on the marketplace. They're definitely worth looking up. They did 3 One was I believe it's called Donut Sprinkles. The other one was Mad World, and then there was the Metal Gear one that they did. You got to see them.
The thing for me with when you're lining those three first person shooters up next to each other, I mean, I wanted the Bad Company series so bad because they have clearly the best campaigns of all three. Battlefield was like non-existent.
It didn't exist in terms of Battlefield 3. That was the first single player that the Battlefield, not like the spin-off ones, has actually done. Battlefield 1942 did not have one. I guess you can call Battlefield 1943 its own game. I don't really know because it's an arcade. And then Battlefield 2 had no single player either.
I don't think Vietnam didn't have one either.
And Vietnam didn't have one either. This is true.
Don't forget about the future one.
Oh, and 2142 did not have a single player as well.
Mechs.
That's the only one I did not play.
That's still no excuse.
It literally, it's funny because if you go into a server with me, I'll have like a level 9 Battlefield veteran status, and I'll be rank about 15 or so. But if you go to like Battlefield 2, I'll be pretty darn high. I'm an officer in that. But anyway,
all those games without a single player is no excuse for that pile of garbage that came out.
They had to be like
the.
I mean, it's so similar to like the Call of Duty one. Like
Call of Duty makes a good campaign.
No, yeah, they do. But like in terms of the presentation of it.
See, because that's what I felt that what they were trying to mimic more with Medal of Honor. Even though Medal of Honor does its own thing, I don't know if you guys played the recent reboot, the one from last year. It was a very, very broken campaign with invisible walls and just stuff like that. It wasn't very polished, but the story was awesome, and I had a blast playing through it. It's actually the one of all of those plus Call of Duty that is the most realistic. They actually go and get Tier 1 operatives to explain to them the I guess the missions that they actually went through overseas, and then they kind of sit there with danger close as they were laying out the levels for the campaign and oversaw everything and made sure that it was as true as possible to what factually happened.
It seems that they were looking at Gearbox software when they make Brothers in Arms.
Up until recently.
For 7 years. 5 years? 2005? Yeah, I think
I'm going to be completely honest, did not pick up Battlefield 3 because I'm kind of over the overly serious war games. We've touched on that a little
Saints
bit.
Row still the best.
But you know what really, really pissed me off about Battlefield 3
grinds my gears
was the trailer, the commercial that they put out with the what was it, NWA song or whoever the hell it was. I didn't care for that.
They went for tough and gruff military
and then
shooter.
Because Call of Duty uses Eminem and Dr. Dre, it was more of that hip hop feel to it. And you go back to Bad Company 2, and it used a badass song by Queens of the Stone Age in it, and it just that's the first image that you see of it is usually the TV trailers or the little videos, and again, it's kind of like what Gears did with Mad World, and even what sold me on the new Transformers game was the trailer that they showed with that song.
I get a lot of reserves on that lately, actually,
and
surprisingly, a lot.
And if the video, if you want to call it the video game music video that they make for the commercials, if that doesn't grab my attention right away and it doesn't feel right to me, it doesn't connect, doesn't pop, I want nothing to do with it. And it's not that I don't like hip-hop, rap music, but like if you need a refresher, again, check it out on YouTube. Awesome intro and the build-up for it, and the way the song plays into the video was awesome. Perfect.
Almost as good as Borderlands?
But see, here's the difference with Borderlands is like, Ain't No Rest for the Wicked is great, but
I thought that worked for that game.
It worked for it, and it kind of built it up, but it didn't have that oomph that like a war game's going to have.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't. It set the tone for Borderlands, with the almost Western style song.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, the Queens of the Stone Age song is like a hardcore heavy metal fast song, and it has just this really awesome hit right in the beginning of it, and that's like shit's blowing up on screen. The music's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
This game's gonna be fucking awesome.
You know what I would add? You know what? Just thinking about it right now, Battlefield Vietnam, when that came out, that like
it had war.
Yeah, that was amazing. They had
I'd jump in a Jeep, turn on the radio, and then just run people over for an hour.
Yeah, that one had a great. I just totally remember that. That one had a great intro trailer or whatever. Yeah.
That was good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So,
Completely off topic.
oh yeah, completely off topic, but I loved it.
That's the way it's going from now on. Deal with it.
I actually got a kind of weird story of the week. I generally don't get these, so I was really happy to see it, and I'm totally gonna report on it. Sony just denied a pitch for a Kama Sutra game that would have used the iToy.
I know we're kind of going over stuff that we touched base on from Sunday.
The non-existent show.
Yeah, the non-existent show.
But you wanted the enthusiasm from the last show. I forgot about the Karma Sutra game.
I totally.
And damn it, I still want it, and I want it with move support.
Yeah. I forgot where we went with this one. This one.
It ended up talking about the Kinect, and
Oh yeah, bringing it
you
under.
can't play it with the lights
Oh
off.
yeah, yes, that's what I was saying. Yeah, because this would be a hyper-sexualized game that you'd want to play with the lights off, and of course the Kinect wouldn't function. So I don't see how this would ever work as a port. The move, I don't know. Well, actually, think of what you could do with the move.
Think what you do. Oh
Kama
man, the
Sutra-wise.
dildo.
Again, I want
controller.
multiplayer for that, but then it would end.
Multiplayer.
It would end up like you said before. It would end up like chat roulette.
Dick pics.
Dick pics.
That's all
and
it
that's
turned into is constant dick pics.
dick pics.
It always seems to come full circle to that, doesn't it?
In the last few weeks, yes.
Last few weeks, just a lot of dick pics.
I mean, I could see a really cool crossover with the Karma Sutra game and like Just Dance.
Oh God, I'm just imagining that.
My mind is racing now. It's going a million.
Yeah,
miles an
I'm
hour.
just thinking. Brought to you by Activision.
You know,
Oh,
then you
man.
can incorporate the Wii balance board and everything to
And
make
of
sure
course-
that you hold the pose.
Of course, if Activision's making it, you'll have your yearly iterations until everybody gets sick of
Kama
it.
Sutra 2.
And then they'll have the
The
elite
return of the
version.
Sutra.
The elite version. You can change your skin color.
Yeah, then they'll start selling with all types of peripherals like Rock Band.
And that's where the flashlight comes in.
You know, I do a funny story from GameStop. One of the times I was working in Woodfield Mall, one of the prank calls we would get was, do we take dildos as trade-in?
Nice.
Really?
Yep. Serious phone call, called like 3 times. No, I mean, it was obviously a joke thing, but literally, I've only worked at mall a few times, and like, I go to Bailey, and he's just like, yeah, that kind of thing happens here all the time. It's like, I feel so sorry.
I
for
can
you.
top that. I've got 2.
The worst one I ever got was actually from Jason.
This happened like 2 weeks ago.
This was it was like a couple weeks ago. I pick up the phone, I do my little pitch, and then what'd you say? Do you have? He's like,
Hello, do you have Mario Panty Potty?
and I got little kids screaming in the store. I got mommies asking me for dumb crap, and I got the phone up to my ear, and I thought that's what I heard, and in my head I'm like,
It can't be right.
that can't be what I heard. Mario Panty Party. So I'm like, excuse me, sir, I can't hear you. Can you repeat that? He says-
Mario Panty Potty, you have, huh?
and
know-
then I think we did it one more time. And then after my boss, like, dude, it's probably Jason.
Because I have nothing better to do at 7 p.m. sitting across the street. You're lucky that you're not in a strip store because I'd totally be at the door watching you.
You know who is terrible at that?
I see you with your red shirt on.
You remember Ricky, one of my old bosses? a few
Yes.
years ago? He would do that
Because
all
I'm the one that
time.
taught Ricky. I did that to Ricky.
He'd do the exact same kind of voice because he's like
I'm
Asian.
gonna
His
I'm gonna
name's
send
Ricky,
this
but
to
he's
Ricky,
Asian, so.
and I'm gonna tell you a great. Since we're getting completely off topic, to hell with it.
Conversational podcast. Go nuts, sir.
The vice president of the company came into the store, and this was we were working together at the mall, and Ricky split his pants from taint to the top of his crack. So he's walking and he's trying to like tour the store
He's ripped him in front of me before doing my store.
and he's trying to tour the store, all right, with keeping his back away from the DM and the vice president. What do? I grab a can of the air. And if you,
The compressed air?
The compressed air. Kids, never try this at home. If you turn it upside down,
You can get frostbite.
you can frostbite somebody. And I got him right in the crack of the ass with that. And that's where Majin Ricky came from. Okay,
Majin?
Majin Ricky is what Ricky turns into. It's a Dragon Ball Z reference because he gets so red in the face and he's got that cute little squinty-eyed, puffy cheek face. He
Yes,
looks like
exactly.
Majin Buu. Anyways, the last story because that one didn't count. I'm
great.
working at GameStop with our correspondent in Cairo, and this 400-pound German chick walks in.
Oh, jeez.
And proceeded to ask my friend if we sold lube there. Okay.
Why?
Then she picks up a
He's into her
universal.
car.
She picks up a universal component cable adapter and proceeds to ask him with a straight face and broken accent if she can use it as a cat of nine
Oh my god!
to whip
What?
somebody.
Oh God, that.
And he is a very expressionless person, but he had this look on his face of embarrassment and anger, and I had to walk into the back room laughing so hard.
Oh man! Ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining us late, this is a video game podcast.
Is
Not
it 'cause
not a our moments at GameStop. Even though they are pretty good at
I think
times.
that's going to be a whole episode itself.
Yeah, that would be good.
And also, if I may, real quick, we went into this greater
This is the
detail
news.
last. Yeah, this is the news section. we went into this a little bit. The show that will never air. I
The
guess.
show that never was.
The show that never was. With this whole running joke we have with our correspondent in Cairo, he's going to change cities quite often.
Yeah.
he's always
It's-
in different locations.
His name is Angry Andy, the
Angry-
fact checker.
the fact checker.
Yeah, because he sends us pictures of dirty looks when we get shit wrong.
Yeah. He's our live correspondent all across the globe.
Yeah. we don't really know why he's traveling. He just kind of is.
He's just got the money.
He's
And-
worldly.
He's
a
worldwide.
fact- He's
Worldly.
checking
He's
facts.
worldwide.
He was
And
in
wherever
Barcelona crossing the soccer stadium last
And wherever
week.
he goes, he apparently takes an Xbox and a Wi-Fi connection with him.
And we always have our camera on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh.
Oh, jeez, this would be good. Jason's losing
Oh,
it.
oh, back before the Kinect came out, Xbox had that stupid little live camera, and if anybody used to play Burnout Paradise, it would take a picture of when you wreck somebody. It would take a picture of their reaction. So
how long did
That would be great. Why
it was
isn't that a
instantaneous. It was.
thing?
And
Why
you-
isn't it a thing anymore?
How is that not
It's-
full of just big pics? Oh,
Well, wait. That's what I'm
we
getting
can
to.
still get those cameras.
Yeah,
know.
but it actually still works with the Kinect. Anyways,
Big
even with
naked
the lights
guy
off.
when you crash.
So we're playing, and we're just trying to complete a bunch of stunts and whatnot, and on occasion, fuck around and ram each other, so it would snap a picture. Well, I had the camera, he didn't. So all of a sudden, I'm sitting there, and I know he's coming because it's been like 5-10 minutes since he did it last. So I know he's gonna nail me. So I bring my arm up to the camera and clench my forearm between my bicep, thus
So
creating
it's like a butt.
a butt crack so that it took the picture. And he just went, "What the fuck?" And then the next one just happened to be a picture of my ferret, which is now saved on his profile under the hits that he's gotten. I forgot what it was called. It's like the most wanted or whoever you took down.
Oh, okay,
Your
yeah.
rivals. So you can go through and you can still see these photos. And there was one of a fat guy with no shirt on, sitting on a toilet with the Xbox controller in his hand. That's the answer to your question, why it's not a thing anymore.
That's awesome.
Everybody go out and buy Burnout. Play
Yeah.
that, okay?
Who's Burnout? What, Revenge?
No, Paradise.
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 Those
Oh,
little, they got those little cameras everywhere. They're like $3.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, even on the Kinect, but
Yeah.
that's hilarious. I would love that in Call of Duty. The greatest thing ever.
You hear this? You hear this? Developers, bring this feature back. You want to incorporate the Kinect? Take pictures of people
Pictures every day.
when you kill them.
I'd buy a Kinect for that.
I would actually get a use other than my voice.
It'll bring a whole new meaning to teabagging in Halo.
Oh, good stuff.
That was absolutely amazing. I love that. The show is better than the last, I think, so far. All right, this is only the third news story. Vivendi is actually having trouble finding potential buyers. The supposed top runner, this is only rumored, is Microsoft. They did offer to two other companies. This is Japanese Nexon and
Don't flip me off.
China's Tencent because they couldn't get 50 cents. The problem with both of those is that neither of the companies had money on hand. I'm sorry.
He's putting in burnout. I'm gonna make. I don't mean to cut you off.
No,
I
it's
apologize.
cool.
I'm gonna make 2 videos and post them up on YouTube. One's gonna be of. I'm sure tons of people have put it out there, but it's an Easter egg in Gears 3. But the other one is where actually we'll probably do some live burnout just so people can see it.
That's cool.
Well, we'll put burnout up there a little bit later on tonight.
All right. Now that I'm more composed, because I've just been laughing my ass off for like 15 minutes straight, it feels like. Those two companies, the Japanese Nexon, China's Tencent, didn't have the money on hand to actually make an offer. And then Vivendi's actually so, I don't know, into trying to sell the company. They even asked Disney if they would even want the company. So far, Disney has not even, kind of gotten back to them. Yeah. Because then you would have Call of Duty brought to you by Disney.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse in the background.
Again, I brought it up. They also own the name SEAL Team 6, which would be pretty badass. But even more badass is they could make Call of Duty featuring Wolverine, Captain America,
mix characters then. Yeah.
Iron Man in Call of Duty.
The problem I see with this is Vivendi is they're trying to sell high right now. Call of Duty, for the first time in its entire history as a series, Modern Warfare 3 is the first one that did not outsell its predecessor. So it's clearly plateaued. It may be a little up or a little down with Black Ops 2, but the fact of the matter is the series as a whole is feeling franchise fatigue. People are getting a little sick of the same old, and the fact that it comes out every year with the same 4 map packs at $15 a piece, basically forcing you to buy the same game twice at full retail every single year, and then it's virtually worthless the next year. People are getting a little tired of that, I think, and people kind of see through it. And if Call of Duty doesn't do something big, that's why I don't think too many people are jumping at the opportunity to do this. If this had gone on sale the second after Modern Warfare came out, the first one, I think they'd have a ridiculously easy time.
Oh yeah,
because it was still during the incline.
They would have missed out on a ton of money, though. They've definitely made a lot of money
Oh,
on this
yeah.
series. But they are trying to sell it because it did reach its peak. It is on a downward,
You never know with the next console if they could do something better, or
Yeah.
maybe finally decide to make something longer than a 30-second campaign.
Nice
But
cutscene.
yeah, it's a sweet cutscene, and you shoot 2 bullets, and you beat Call of Duty.
Maybe a throwing knife in here. I don't know.
I do have a question that I completely forgot to bring up before.
By all means.
Does this include Blizzard?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Okay.
So they would literally be getting the 2 biggest companies.
But also you
in
have the 2
world,
biggest
basically.
companies that are currently trending downward.
Yeah, that's the thing.
No offense to the WoW fans out there.
Blizzard definitely they peaked years ago at this point with their player base, but they still. I'm trying to think the last actual number of players they still had.
Yeah,
I want to say it was
they're,
close to.
they're like 8
I was
or 9
saying, yeah,
million.
I was saying close
They're
to
still-
8 or 9 million. So so that's still 15 a month getting. So literally, that's still pretty darn good.
Well, now they have the yearly crap.
Then the
Okay.
yearly. So
We're
Blizzard's definitely got more value in it than I think Activision does right now in a yearly
but
income.
Activision, they made that fucking Skylanders printed money, and a new one's coming up.
This is true.
And what? Is that it?
Is his profile picture on Xbox
Yeah, I know,
Live
yeah.
is the picture on his ID.
Learner permit. What the hell was I saying?
It doesn't matter.
You were talking about the Skylanders printing money.
Okay, yeah. They got Skylanders, they got COD, they got Diablo, StarCraft, World at War.
Well, I say like all those
James
games, the ones
Bond
that
franchise,
Blizzard
like,
does are.
Blizzard and Act. It's I don't know.
Blizzard works by itself a lot. It
Yeah.
seems like
the front runner is, from what we're hearing, is Microsoft. Yeah.
rumor is so far. Yeah.
Okay. Well, clearly, because Nintendo, they haven't made money in 2 years, so I don't know if they got that. They're putting a lot of eggs in one basket with the Wii U. I don't think they have the kind of
Cash on hands
to do something.
Same thing
like
with
that.
Sony too.
Sony's even
Yeah,
worse trouble.
especially with how big
Yeah.
of a hit they took last year.
PlayStation,
They're not going to go for this.
PlayStation's making money, but Sony does not have
Yeah.
cash.
It's because the other parts of their business are
And the
not doing so
Vita's
well.
not doing
And the
particularly
Vita as
well.
well.
But yeah.
But they do expect to sell 10 million units, as I reported a few months ago. A ridiculously high number that they'll never get close to.
Microsoft, on the other hand, is fucking making shitloads of money.
Yep.
They got that exciting new tablet coming up in a little bit. They got Windows 8 releasing soon. Windows 7 still selling like crazy.
Microsoft Office 13.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
got
new
50 million.
Office.
They got roughly 40 million, 50 million Xbox Live users every month.
Something like that. And you're forgetting one thing. Bing. The second most used
Bing.
search
Bing.
engine.
Yes, as we reported
At
a
this-
couple months ago.
Yeah.
Microsoft's making money. They are one of the few companies in the world that has that kind of
Cash on hand.
cash. Just like no big deal. 10
Like,
mil-
that's why, I mean, like, the companies I went to, like, Nexon, I know they do a bunch of, like RPGs and, like,
Yeah.
free-to-play stuff.
Yeah, they do a
and
lot of international freedom.
They're like
Yeah,
they're
that
like
kind of
a Atlas competitor, aren't they?
Yeah, I think around those lines.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what Tencent does, but I believe they do around the same thing. So literally, those, like, the companies I read off are, like, they have a ton of money, basically. I mean, Disney just, same thing. They're taking shit.
Here's the
tons of money,
problem,
too.
though. Does it? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, and then I'll.
There's one other thing that we're kind of overlooking here, and that's the relationship between Microsoft and Activision.
It's very close.
It's very close. Look at the Call of Duty franchise with the map packs and everything. They get them first on Microsoft for 3 years before PlayStation gets them.
yeah.
That's what I wanted to bring up is a question about this: is do we think this is even a good idea for Microsoft to do this?
Considering that they kind of let Bungie walk the way that they did, I don't see it necessarily as a negative thing. And then think about picking up Blizzard. Think about the fact that you could theoretically be playing World of Warcraft on an Xbox. You can play Diablo on an Xbox. All this different incorporation that they can do with that.
Yeah, I think there's good.
That, and you have more monthly subscriptions. You have 9 million more. 15. You have, 9 million subscriptions
Totally.
active. You're getting $15 a month per person on top of that, on top of Xbox Live.
Look at the money that not Call of Duty, but Call of Duty Elite made this past year.
Yeah, they're
The
smart.
Elite service alone at $50 a year.
Yeah.
You're welcome, by the way.
Yeah, thank you again. Yeah, I think there's a lot of good and a lot of bad. Like you guys alluded to, Microsoft immediately gets six or
Basically,
seven
yeah.
companies, first-party developers under their belt
Better,
overnight.
Yeah.
That are strictly working on. The thing is that for me would not make sense is I feel they'd be overpaying for the simple fact that now all those games become Xbox exclusives. So they're
Not
not gonna,
necessarily. But they do have the option. I mean, I highly doubt they'd ever do this. But as an exclusive, the first-party developer, they could cut off Call of Duty to the PS3 or
But see-
PS4.
see, why would
and
you
that would just choke that system.
Why would you do that though?
But look at the sales that they'd in turn lose. Granted,
That's what I'm trying to say.
for every 100 copies of Call of Duty that sold, 70 are Xbox, 30 are
Well, yeah,
are
that's what I mean.
PlayStation.
They would never do that.
Yeah.
But they do have.
Think about what they can charge Sony. Be like, hey, you got to give us X amount of
Yeah,
dollars.
Is
to
exactly.
have
Sony
you.
even going to be okay with that, or is it going to
with
turn
Call of
into,
Duty. Yes.
Here's a question. More importantly, do they have an option? Do they really have
This
an
is
option?
how
Are
they
they
might
willing?
work
Are they
around the
willing to,
Blu-ray
to
option.
lose Call of Duty?
Oh, you're saying switch Call of Duty for Blu-ray tech?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the same idea.
Because
Win-win for everyone.
This
Yeah.
really brings up a lot of with Wii too. I mean, you know how much Skylanders I think was the biggest for Wii, right?
Something like that. I mean,
Stuff like that.
it sold.
They did
it
well
sold,
on all
It
systems
sold like
for the most
like Beanie
part.
Babies.
I don't think either one of the Microsoft would maybe have to stick some kind of secret badge that the industry knows says Microsoft, but it doesn't physically say Microsoft on a disc you're buying for Sony just to cover it up.
Yeah.
Something like what you were saying with Disney owns what,
Yeah.
the six, what's it called?
SEAL Team 6.
SEAL Team 6. So something that's, the people in the know understand that it's a Disney entity, but Disney doesn't have to stick their name on it because it's violent, and Disney doesn't want to be associated with violence. So that's their cop-out. So Microsoft could make this thing called, whatever, Table.
Yeah.
Table.
Now who is
Working
who is
now, working
Bungie
name.
who is Bungie currently working with?
Bungie's being paid by Activision, but they're not owned.
Yeah. Well,
They're
but
like
They're their
but
own entity.
Yeah,
they have a
but
contract.
that could
working with contract.
that would also put Bungie right
And
back
it-
under the arm of Microsoft too.
Well, Bungie right now is a timed exclusive, just like how Call of Duty is
Yeah.
on the Xbox.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it theoretically potentially could bring them back under the umbrella
Yeah.
to an extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up.
It's an interesting idea.
because they could choke. They could, like you guys.
The reality of it, though, is
Depending on
it's
how-
probably
how
not
they
going
wanna
to
it's
be.
sell.
good, but you could choke yourself by if you don't work these things out properly with Microsoft or with with Sony and with Nintendo. Like you
Take
said, you're
Skylanders
cutting
away
off,
from PS3 even. That's,
You're cutting. Yeah, but you're cutting off 2/3 of your sales.
That's what I mean. That's why it depends how much they want to be, like, a dicks to them. Like,
Yeah.
really. I mean, literally, you could really, really put the hurt on Sony. If they wanted to eliminate them, this could be the start of that. I highly doubt that's what they're going to go with. They want the money. They're not in that, cutthroat thing, I don't believe. But
It's not the day and
It
age of
could
back
happen.
like Nintendo and Sega.
yeah, but it
also-
could be that way eventually. You never
I
know.
also don't think these companies hate each other.
No, that's what I'm
nearly
saying.
as
I don't
much
think
as
it-
we
yeah.
all pretend that they do.
Yeah.
No,
I'm pretty sure
because
Sony, Microsoft.
That's
both,
what I mean. It's an option
they,
for them,
yeah,
but
they skip hand in hand all the way
yeah.
to tank
there's
with this shit. They
well,
don't care.
It's competition and rivalry is always good for business because it always forces
Pushes
you.
the other one.
Yeah, exactly. It forces you to step up and bring your A game and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft is video for both those companies. Nintendo's a little different; that's their primary focus. But with both Microsoft and Sony, video gaming is one small thing of what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
Sony and Microsoft work together on a lot of levels, even on Sony built PCs. They all run off Windows system. Those two clearly work together outside
yeah.
the realm
Of video games,
No.
yes.
So
Yeah. No, I think we can agree.
I don't
that-
think they'd want to
No,
screw
yeah,
up
that- yeah,
other
no.
shit by doing that.
No, that's exactly what I was saying. They could if they wanted to.
Yeah.
They would have.
Oh, they can hurt.
They could
yeah.
have them by the balls if they want, but I highly doubt that's going to happen.
Yep.
All right, cool. Well, that was good.
right.
Let's see. My last story of the week is: has anyone seen the Halo 4 system bundle yet?
Yeah,
It's pretty
Yeah.
smexy.
it is very, very, very sexy.
$400 comes with 2 controllers.
Tony, put
and
that away.
Halo.
It's a little.
Put that away. I don't want to see that. Zip your pants back up.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. I just feel so comfortable at your house.
Well, that and we're talking about Halo.
Oh yeah, that's what you were trying to get. I'm sorry.
Derp.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we'll cut that part out later.
It's really sweet looking, as were many of the other consoles that come out with a game.
I still think this one looks like a little step up from like nearly almost all, probably almost all the bundles.
This one's
It's probably one of
I
the
think
nicest
it's because it doesn't have that green. It's not green. It's blue.
Mm-hmm.
It's like silver and blue and
artistic-y with all the little
yeah.
shines and
It's
stuff.
it's a little forerunner, if you will.
I go to art school and I'm
too-
using words like that. There's someone should kick me.
It's too late in the life cycle. I don't see myself spending $400 on my 5th Xbox.
Lies.
Not by choice.
Oh, yeah.
They all broke. No, 4th. This would be my 4th. Not by choice. They all broke. But there's just like $400. Like in my mind, at least, I don't see the next box costing more than $5. So just wait one more year.
Yeah.
And I mean, by all means, go
Yeah.
support
No,
343.
I definitely think they have to aim for something under 500 with that system because I don't think many people are going to want to go for it until that first price drop if they don't hit that.
Well, that's what
I
I'm saying.
want
It's less than a year away.
I want to throw this out there to our listeners. It's a challenge for Tony here. Okay. I don't believe it. I think he's going to buy it.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
I think he's going to buy the new console. One way or another, he's going to buy
getting a
it.
Wii U,
Okay.
like day one.
Exactly.
Like,
The Wii U's new hardware.
And
I know. He got a Vita, and I don't
and
think
I'm
he
not
uses
just
that
talking
thing.
about just the controller. I think he's going to buy the new console. So I'm gonna tell the listeners, keep track, okay? So come November, I'm challenging them to go back and listen and find this recording, and that way we can all prove Tony wrong.
Because I will forget.
He will forget, and he'll buy the damn
But I
thing.
really don't
Make
think
a
I'm
note.
going to. I really, really don't think I'm going to.
Now he changed from he's not buying it to doesn't think
No, I'm
he
not.
is.
I'm
Wait,
really-
with the Wii U? Or?
No, the
the
Halo.
Xbox?
I don't think.
Oh.
I don't think I'm getting it.
Oh, the
no,
Halo
the-
console?
The Halo 4 edition
Console.
The
Okay.
thing with it is who the hell waited this long to finally buy an Xbox?
It's true. The
And-
price drop happened 2 years ago?
Yeah, and the problem with all these consoles, I said this on our show the other, you always need like two of them because you can't even play with it because the whole purpose these are collector's editions. Like that Star Wars one was awesome. I know people that don't even play video games. They're just Star Wars nerds. They went and bought the console just to keep it nice and wrapped up, and they'll never open it. In a few more years, it'll be worth.
Sell
like,
for $4,000.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what they're doing with it. Go ahead.
My birthday is coming up in about a week and a half.
Kickstarter.
If anybody
Kickstarter.
wants to buy me the Gears of War special edition console, I know I have the case mod, but if anybody, throwing it out there, anybody wants to buy that
Phil
for me,
generous.
feel free. Feel free.
Well,
He
you
would
know,
not
we're
say
throwing
no.
out
I would not
birthdays.
say no.
August 23rd.
That's too
Whatever
far
you wanna
off.
buy
Too
me.
far
Ah,
off.
Too
Too
far
far
off.
off.
What? Yeah. What are you going to buy me?
What am I going to buy you?
Yeah.
I don't know. Something that'll guilt you into buying something for me in October.
That is pretty close to when
That might
Halo's
work
gonna come
out.
Not everybody's thinking birthday presents.
Yeah, I know. Okay, we're going to take a little break here?
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll be back in a minute.
Question.
Singular.
Uno.
It was from, okay, well, actually, Andrew Dillon, he had a couple things. First, he wanted, because last week, where's the comment? We were talking about how Jason brought up the fact that people, younger listener, or younger game, go ahead.
Younger gamers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Say
Well,
those 2
They're
words.
listeners too
It
if
was
they're
very
answering a
tricky for
question.
me. Would obviously not want a Halo 2 remake because they would want the new COD over a Halo 2 remake.
Not a remake. It was buying Halo 2 on Xbox Live, the one that's up there now, in the originals, as opposed to buying the new Call of Duty. But anyways, go ahead because his point is still valid either way.
Yeah, he was saying he's gonna he'd get Halo 2 and he's getting the new COD.
Yeah,
so he's
prove
excited
me
about,
wrong.
He's excited about both of them, and he's 15, so he.
Yeah, way to slap the new guy in the face.
And then he says, yeah, he bets he's younger than we thought, and that's correct.
Yeah.
I pegged him for like 19, 20,
Yeah, me too.
somewhere in that.
way to welcome the new guy and thanks.
Right? Good. No, don't worry.
He's just going to comment
Don't-
back. I
don't-
hate you.
Don't be gentle, people.
No, please, by all means, I can take it.
Yeah,
I
you
just
can.
cry myself to sleep. It's okay.
Hey, you were doing that before anyway. Now you have a reason, at least.
Yeah, I'm not emo anymore.
Then he asks for the question of the week. What is the hardest game to 100% complete? And then he wanted everyone out there to know that his personal pick for this would be Super Meat Boy.
That is an incredibly good choice for hardest. Let's see.
I'm gonna stick with what I said.
In our show that didn't happen.
I know,
Show
I,
that
I
never
and
was.
I again, let me take a second to apologize. I know I keep referencing back to it, but that's the only way that I can kind of keep these thoughts in my mind. My pick is Majora's Mask because that was absolutely ridiculous to try to get all the masks to 100% complete the game. I did have the strategy guide, which I did not use until after I completed the game, but it did have an entire note section in the back for what time, and you can write down what time different events took place. That game was absolutely insane, especially since you only had 3 days to do everything and back and forth.
Time-based things are awful.
Yeah. Trials. You brought up Trials.
Oh yeah, Trials 1 is extraordinary hard. Those extreme levels they're just meant to make you cry sometimes.
And, I meant to ask you also, since we're bringing up Trials, did you do the achievement / unlock to get the mini bike in Trials 2? Were you
I
able
did.
to do that?
Yeah.
Nice.
That one quite some time though.
I I was not able to do it myself. I had to refer to our correspondent, who, whenever I get stuck in something and rage quit, I just make him do it.
There you go.
And you know, it's bullshit because he does it in like 30 seconds. Never played the game before, and it's done.
Yeah.
It's done. I hate that. Screw you, Andy. That's what I say to you.
I don't think it can.
I believe that's
I don't think he can hear you all the
Is
way
it the
in Rome.
unyielding one? That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Is
You had
it
to complete Groundhog 3
Yeah, without letting go of the gas.
letting go,
Yeah.
and without adjusting your landing and so on and so forth. Screw that guy, anyways. That's what I say. Not the guy who asked us the question. Our correspondent in Rome.
Yes.
Screw that guy.
What city is he in currently?
Rome.
Did I hear?
Rome.
Oh, he said he was going to Bangladesh soon.
Bangkok?
He may be on his way. By all means, sir.
Literally, like he said, Trials is an incredibly good one. Otherwise, we talked about it. Gears 3. Gears 3 is ridiculously hard.
Here we go again.
Well, I wanted to bring up both of them because I had Red Dead as the hardest.
Not non-achievement to complete for you.
Yes.
To just do everything in that
To
game.
do literally everything in that game, Red Dead is ridiculous. There is one achievement redeemed, which
now we know the name of it.
we knew it, but I knew it. It's
Whatever.
a 100 pointer. You have to literally do you have to like go and master all the Five Finger Fillets and all the card games and everything. And that's on top of the story, which is super in depth
And the shootouts.
just accessing the shootouts because they come in periodically.
Yeah, they're random depending on what the town feels about you and stuff.
But the actual most time consuming, we kind of worked through this last show was seriously because you brought up seriously.
1.0. Yeah, because that was the worst because you do that in ranked
10,000 has to be.
ranked versus mode.
Yes. And then
Then we went to 3.0. I was like, oh yeah, 3.0 is way
yeah,
worse.
we kind of worked our way through it. Gears 3.0 is the most ruthless achievement I've ever heard of. And then I've been
Yeah.
doing some more investigating into it. What there's actually 66 Onyx medals. One doesn't count because it's the one from the beta, and it actually doesn't affect seriously.
What was that?
3.0.
Just from playing the beta, you got an Onyx or something?
No, you had to do something specific in it, I believe.
But whether you got
Yeah,
it or
okay, yeah,
not
doesn't matter. Okay.
affect. So there's actually 66.
Okay,
because
but
most of the
65
sites say
counts.
65, but they're actually wrong.
Yeah.
And then I was looking into it. So the 65 that you need. First of all, you have to be level 100,
Yeah.
which, if anybody's played Gears 1 or 2, is not an easy task in itself. But
Yeah.
that is the easiest part of this particular achievement, is getting to level 100.
Yeah.
The Onyx is alone, because there's like correspondent, there's 4 levels, yeah? There's bronze, silver, gold, and then platinum, right?
This is true.
Onyx.
Well, yeah,
sorry,
I
not
was supposed to be
platinum.
Onyx.
Onyx. Excuse- don't
You
mind
just got
me.
you got the dirty look
my
of the
mind's-
day. You got the dirty
My
look of
mind
the
is going a
day.
million miles an hour. Say there's like literally one for just Nasher kills in multiplayer. You have to get 6,000 kills, which is ridiculous by itself, with one particular gun
Yeah.
in a particular game mode.
Yeah.
And then you have one Onyx.
Yeah. You got
Now there's
64 to go.
64 to go.
It's like, I don't know, 5-6 hours in Onyx if you're. I've heard, depending on which one, I mean, even some of those could probably go for 40 or 50 hours.
I think the Andy is probably the hardest,
furthest along.
the furthest along
Oh, yeah,
in Gears, and I believe at last count he's at 11 or 12. 12. He's up to 12.
Live streaming from Bangladesh.
We play we play. I play a shitload with him, and he plays way more than me. And he is just so. He's got to be miles ahead of most of the people we know that play.
I know one guy who's done all the re-ups already. I don't know his Onyx count though, but I do know that he's done all the re-ups.
Yeah, I know one guy who's done them as well.
Yeah, but as
That's
far
literally
as
the only game he plays.
Oh, yeah, I know this one guy who knows this one guy.
in
Yeah,
Bandcamp,
who
One time smelled this other guy who
yeah.
totally had all the Onyx medals.
Yeah.
Some of them here. I just clicked out of it like a dumbass, but
yeah,
I wanted to read some of the ridiculous.
Insane modes on all of the
Yes.
all of the modes.
Some of them are like
we don't
6,000.
talk about in 4-player co-op insane mode. We don't talk about that.
Why?
You don't want to know. Okay.
I still need to do that. You want in?
No, because you know what? 4-player campaign co-op insane mode.
How do you not have that achievement?
I have the achievement. I'm saying we don't talk about that because how much of a bitch Mira was.
Oh, she was a
We
cunt.
got stuck with a bad respawn, so when everybody
I did
died,
hear about this,
yeah,
yeah.
and we were just getting literally anally raped for about 2.5 hours before we were finally able to pull it off, and then we had to turn around and do it again the next night for somebody else who wasn't there, and that was just, it was horrible. It was horrible. It was.
Does everyone have to be on insane? Because you guys can just run on casual and just give me insane.
Well, if you want the achievement, you got to be on insane.
Oh man.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. We tried.
All right.
Can I go on a little list?
Go right ahead. I was buying you some time there, sir.
Some of the Onyx. Okay, 6,000 pistol kills, 6,000 Lancer kills, 6,000 hammer bursts, 6,000 retros, 6,000 Nashers, 6,000 sawed-offs. After you're done with that, you have to execute 6,000 enemies, including 500 nemesis.
Which means they have to be like killing you, right? Like,
Yeah.
They have to be like dominating you if you play TF2.
You have to take 1,500 enemy leaders captive.
If you do capture
You have to
the leader,
participate
which
in.
sucks.
You have to participate in 30 Gears of War 3 events to become an MVP
And
in competitive combat, and you have to do that 500 times.
that 30 like event thing. The events are set up usually once a month. Sometimes they have skips.
And they haven't even done them in a long time.
Yeah, they actually like I don't know. Like, have they been doing them? Because like every time I log on,
been a
there's
while.
not.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
So yeah, literally like you're supposed to do 30. So literally like it was supposed to be for like every holiday or something.
Yeah. They've been
And
skipping.
yeah, so that one I guarantee you no one actually probably has it then.
Yeah. Then on top of that, you'd have to play 4,000 matches online and win 3,000 of them, holding the enemy side to no wins in a multiple round.
hold on one second.
2,500 times of that.
If no one has that, then no one has seriously 3.0.
This
we
would
can
be
look
true.
we
Yeah,
can
we-
look that up in a minute.
Yeah,
There was
I
a
do-
glitch for
there
it at
was
the
a glitch,
start.
and I heard they were banning people from
Ooh. Damn you, Cliffy B.
that. They were throwing down the ban hammer, something fierce. But yeah, I do know there was some kind of glitch where like it was like setting back the dates and stuff that could get you all of them.
Did anybody else play right before Gears 3 came out?
I played.
I did.
We were doing Horde mode
Yeah, I used to.
and wretches with torque bows.
Yep.
Did anybody else see that?
Yeah, no,
They had
we were
no
definitely
accuracy
playing at some point.
whatsoever, and it was
They just chase
hilarious.
you and you start hitting them.
Yeah.
Literally, because then I never played such a game in so long multiplayer for so long just to get my wings. I ended up getting them, I don't know, 3 weeks before Gears 3 came out probably.
Yeah, I got
Because when they was doing that insane
I got them
XP
during the-
weekends, it was like
yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20. I think the
I
last
think they got
one
up to
ended up being
32. 32,
yeah.
I believe-
Because then
I
they
believe.
started doing different ways of how the multiplayer based on likes on Facebook or something.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It got ridiculous, but it got really fun.
Oh,
there
yeah.
for a while.
It boost because of those score boosts. I felt really bad because I was doing King in the Hill like the whole time. Even though I played at launch, I played sometime in between, and then I played right before the launch of Gears 3. I ended up at like inside of the top, probably about 12,000 for King of the Hill
Nice.
all time,
Nice.
just because of that.
Here's a
I feel bad for the rest of you.
interesting fact. I skipped Gears 1 when it first came out, played Gears 2, then went back to 1, and then I went and bought all this crazy Gears of War shit.
Yeah, now you're the biggest Gears fan. Of all of us.
Yes. Got any more for us?
Oh, there's like 40 more.
Are you gonna
I
read them
named
all
like
off?
10. Yeah, well, I was letting you guys go on your little tirade.
Well, is there any good ones? Just
Yeah,
go
I
for
mean,
that.
like,
We can
I mean,
move on. From
you could have just
then.
said 6,000 kills for all weapons.
Yeah.
That would have
Then
saved
there's
us
a lot more,
15 minutes.
Okay, here's another
Yeah.
six. There's a bunch more 6,000s like
I think
headshots,
people have all day on this, huh?
Right? Jeez.
headshots, heavy weapons, explosives,
Explosives is that's pretty hard,
12,000
probably.
bad guys, 3,000 with fire, 1,000 grenades, 1,000 enemies while holding a captive, 500 rounds of capture the leader, having never been taken captive, competitive combat 5,000. Jesus, I'm only through like 20 of them. I'm not going to even keep
This
going. You guys-
bastard's looking at him.
It's ridiculous.
Manipulate 2,000 objects
look
in
at-
campaign.
You look away for 30 seconds, and he's got the game that we're talking about loaded up and ready to go.
Yeah, he's got it all in the.
Live
Anyway,
from
I'm not even halfway
Bangkok.
through it. As you guys can get a sense of, I'm not even halfway through it. This is the insanity that goes into a 100-point achievement. Sometimes they give you 25 just for logging in the game.
Simpsons, pushing start.
It starts.
Modern Warfare 2 did that too, didn't it?
No, not Modern Warfare 2.
Uh-huh.
Was it Modern Warfare 2?
Did somebody?
The campaign.
I don't think so.
Our correspondent is coming live from Tibet. Momentarily, we're scrolling.
He's got monks all around him. They're
Yeah,
meditating.
Anyway, you
Wow.
can kind of get the feel for how.
Look at this
insane it is.
list.
There it is, Modern Warfare 2.
Actually, most of these things. Yeah,
Nope.
it's
Tony's wrong. Everybody repeat it. Tony's
It's called
wrong.
Back in the Saddle.
Nope.
That's it.
Nope. Tony's
Nope.
wrong. You have
Yes,
to,
it is.
You have to do something for it. You had to help train the local militia. The Simpsons one. Press start.
Yeah, you can check my
no,
profile
but
for
it's
that.
literally helping train the local militias. Just it's
Tony's
just starting
lying.
the campaign.
So you just get mad because you're wrong.
Yeah, just
Mad
dead
'cause you're
wrong.
bad.
I'm lying now. I'm making shit up. Okay.
Call Tony a liar on the comments. Go.
Yes, in
Anyway,
the comments.
They're calling Seriously 3.0 the toughest Xbox achievement you can get. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's my personal pick.
All right. That's I think that's it for the questions.
Yo.
All right, so we're on
Pretty
to
extensive.
we're on to
Pretty
last week's
extensive.
rumors.
Week and a half old. Let's do it.
Yeah. So new PlayStation 3 model.
Yes.
We touched on that
The
a little
4000
bit.
series.
4000 series, a redesign so late in the life cycle.
Yes.
This is where you guys are going to start bashing me again because I think it's stupid. Stupid.
If you've taken a look at the pictures that surfaced, it's weird because the top cover is going to have these ridges. I don't know.
Like ruffles?
Yeah, it's like the ruffles of ridges. Hell, they might even have a stamp on there. Free bag of chips with every purchase.
I might buy one then.
To me,
Yeah.
it looks like it took small aspects from the fat PS3 and combined them with elements of the slim PS3.
And then being even slimmer.
And then they made this kind of electronic baby, if you will. And yeah.
But if you've noticed on the pictures, you haven't seen the disc tray yet. From what speculation's at, is it's going to be some kind of like flip down or like slide off actual like cover. and then
Yay,
you put the
movable
disc in.
shit for kids to break.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like literally, because that's
Do you
just
remember
gonna be
all
some kind
those-
of plastic
all those-
hatch.
All the PS3, the first gens that came out that would come in without the damn little cover
Yeah,
for the memory card slots and whatnot.
yeah.
Anyways, there's a patent out there. They haven't officially confirmed anything. We don't even know if we're going to get it in the United States. What the deal is with it. It's not going to be backwards compatible,
Yeah,
and it's going to
that
come with
was a
some.
pipe dream
It's
at
going
this
to
point.
it's going to come with some funky hard drive sizes.
Yeah, you got the 16 gig.
Yeah,
Then you got the Is it a 250 or a 320?
I think it's a 320.
I think it's a 320 and a 500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird sizes. Obviously, the little 16 gig is going to be the probably. I'm speculating that might be their price drop console.
Well, to me, I know you think this is stupid, right? I kind of went into this. What you thought it was
I don't.
meh.
Meh.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. What I think this is just fine and pretty much expected because from the very beginning, Sony was very clear that they were going to go on a 10-year life cycle with the PS3. So 2006, this is going to go to 2016. They still got another 4 years to sell the PS3. It doesn't mean the PS3 and the PS4 won't overlap. They're still, to this day, selling PS2s brand new. So I mean, and that came out in 2000.
2001 was the PlayStation.
I think it was 2000 because 99 was Dreamcast.
I might be wrong. I'm more than likely wrong. So yeah, we'll say.
Could be 2000, could be 2001.
Yeah.
You're looking at me like I was 10 years old. What do I know what those things?
You are right. You are right because the Xbox and the
Xbox
GameCube
was 2001.
And the GameCube were
Yeah.
2001. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Where was I going now?
10-year life cycle.
10-year, and they're still selling the PS2s right now. The thing I alluded to earlier was around the world, because like Microsoft is strictly a North American, and they're sort of big in Europe. Primarily, all of their sales are North American, whereas Sony is kind of the worldwide console alongside Nintendo. But some of the more developing countries are just getting introduced to the PS2 now, and that's 13 years late. The PS2 is doing extremely well in South America and as well as Africa. So what this would do is in a couple more years, when the PS3 becomes a $150 item, it'd be redesigned with better hardware, it'd be more reliable, and they can finally start marketing it to those countries that have waited that long for it to drop that far down. They can finally afford it.
I do have to switch out one comment that you make. I wouldn't say better hardware. I'd say cheaper hardware. Yeah. I think that's a big issue with the redesign is they're going to make it cheaper for them to manufacture.
Well, typically with that, they become more energy efficient, and I think they've all become more reliable. The Slim is far more reliable than the Fat was, and the 360 redesign, I mean, it was kind of hard to not improve over the original 360s.
Mine still burnt out within the first 2 months.
Did it really?
Yeah, my Slim. Yeah.
Would you red ring it or
Yeah,
walnut?
yeah.
Really?
Yep.
The red rings, the Slims can't red ring.
Yeah, they can.
Yes, they can.
They can red dot.
Yep.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, it does. It's the exact same error code, exact same problem.
Really?
Yeah.
I was
mean,
without an Xbox for about 6 weeks.
It is like a different solder than they originally used. But like the reason they went to, I mean, this is really old, but the reason that the red ring was so common is that they went with a really cheap solder that it would be able to be sold in more countries.
Yeah.
So they went with the cheap route and ended up boning them in the end. But they did get a better way of doing it, but it's not a solved problem. I mean, literally, this can happen with anything. It happens with the PS3s. Have you heard of the yellow light of death?
Same.
Yep.
It's overheating.
Same thing. It was kind of funny because a lot of Sony owners were like, "Yeah, your red ring," and then all of a sudden, it just kind of seemed to cut out of nowhere. The yellow ring got really big, a lot bigger than the red ring did. At least at the same time frame. And then there was kind of like a ha ha.
No. But there's no way the Slim red dot is even close.
Oh yeah, it's far less common. Like I said, they did vast improvements, but I mean, this is the exact same thing with a laptop.
Yeah, I mean, all three systems have bricking issues. The Wii does too.
Yeah, the Wii's actually the least, I think.
Yeah,
doesn't have enough power. Oh.
Well, nobody turns them on unless Zelda or Mario comes out.
Just sits there and play half hour.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. There is a rumor going around that the WB has accidentally leaked the next Batman game.
Shut up.
Yeah, which is a prequel to Arkham Asylum, set in the Silver Age. To catch people up, what the Silver Age is it's essentially comic books from the 60s and 70s, kind of around the time when that campy yet awesome Batman TV show was around.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of issues
you're
with this. Huh?
Man, you're old.
I'm not that old, man.
You're so old.
I just really like Batman. I've got a laundry list of issues with this.
A laundry list?
Laundry list.
Who makes a laundry? Who makes a list for laundry?
It's Batman.
I never understood that fucking saying either. A laundry list. I'm not like, oh, make sure to do the whites, not the darks.
Oh, don't forget the soap.
All right, well, wait. This coming from the guys who threw out "Grind My Gears" earlier. It falls in the same parameters.
Hey, grinding gears is a painful thing.
Go ahead, sir. I know you've been dying to go.
Oh yeah. With the direction and the art style that they've taken the Batman games in, I honestly feel that if this is true, it's taking a step back from what they've put out so far. The Silver Age of comic books was very four-color palette, kind of bright and
Ew.
goofy looking.
Ew.
Batman had eyebrows drawn
I go to art
on.
school and I don't like this.
And he was always smiling, and it was just these really campy stories. And considering what they've done and what Christopher Nolan's done with the movies, I think this may be a turn in the wrong direction.
Rock on.
That's
I agree
wait.
with this.
You
Oh,
tore
I
me
got
apart.
tons- I got tons
Okay,
to say about this.
come on.
I
Bring
didn't
it.
know if you were done
Bring
with your
it.
tangents.
Let's go. I'm not done, but come on.
For me, because we had this very heated the other day, and this
Stop referencing it. It's the first time we're doing this.
yeah, totally. And my main thing with this was I don't see a problem with this, and I kind of come full circle with it. And I got to start with the early '90s movies because I didn't, as nerdy as I am or whatever, I never really got into the comic scene. I stuck with Star Wars.
He got beat up enough as a child.
And video games and what have you. And so I got introduced to Batman in, what was it, 91?
90.
90.
The movie was filmed in 89.
So I was 5 years old or whatever. That was my introduction. I knew of
Man,
Batman.
you're old.
I knew of Batman, but I didn't.
I was 6.
Yeah, I didn't really get.
Not born. Actually,
Not
no,
born
I was.
yet.
I was,
You were
I was,
in your- you were in
no,
your
at
daddy's
that
leg.
point, when they were filming it, I wasn't born. When it came out, I was.
So that was my first like true exposure for more than seeing him for 10 seconds at a time, and so that's what I thought Batman was. And as a child, they were really good movies. Then as I grew up and my palate changed and I grew more common sense, I look back and see how atrocious.
By common sense, do you mean bat nipples?
Yes, I see how truly atrocious all 4 of those movies were. They're not.
I
good.
agree. I agree.
There's small aspects of them that are good. I think Jim Carrey played an excellent Riddler.
Oh, God.
Okay, Jason disagrees. That's fine. I think Danny DeVito played a really good Penguin.
All right. Okay.
So on and so forth.
For the
like
style
Arnold,
his
Arnold
character was.
Schwarzenegger had no business in that fucking series.
Arnold will destroy.
So
Terrible
then
accent.
you move modern day and you see what they're what the team over at Rocksteady started doing, and the grittier, grimier
Cooler.
Batman universe that you guys have seen the movies is simply amazing. I love what he's done. It's why Batman is my favorite comic book character. So you switch that, you revert it back to video games. You look at the first, since the beginning of video games up until Batman Arkham Asylum came out, there has never, ever been a good Batman game.
True.
They're all terrible.
True.
I don't care what anybody says. Some people be, oh, but Batman Returns on Genesis. No, go. It's terrible.
True.
It's awful.
I agree 100%.
So
We're on the same page.
So, to me, the movies sucked back in the day, and the video games sucked back in the day. And as they've come to this like resurgence in the reimagination of what Batman could be, with what Rockstar's doing with the video
he can
game.
be whatever he wants to be.
What?
He can be. I wasn't going with the quote, and I kind of forgot over the years.
And then with what Christopher Nolan, right?
Yes.
Is doing with the movies, and I think Nolan's done an amazing job with the movies. He's bringing it where Batman should have always been, and I don't like that. Okay, go ahead. I know you guys have a bunch of. I got way more to go into. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm not even going to count Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. Those are like the Philips CDI Zelda games.
Zeldas, yeah.
They don't exist. Okay. The only thing that the Tim Burton movies, and again, I'm in the same boat. I saw them as a kid, loved them, grew up a little bit. Read The Killing
Realize
Joke.
what you were actually viewing.
Yeah, read The Killing Joke. Read The Dark Knight Returns, and learned the true backstory of these characters. The only thing that Tim Burton brought to the table that he did right was get Batman away from that campy look. It was dark. They were gritty. Okay. Then the animated series came out and kind of redefined the character for the mass audience. I'm not even going to, comic book fans are comic book fans. The game still continued to suck. Rocksteady kind of picked up where the animated series left off and ran with it. One of my bigger issues is the fact of the reason, one of the reasons in the rumor that they're doing this is because they want to do the first meeting between Joker and the Batman. And I give Rocksteady all the props in the world. Again, here comes a major spoiler for Arkham City. If you haven't figured it out by the new DLC that came out, the Joker dies. So they did something that the comic books did not have the intestinal fortitude to do. Okay, they killed off the Joker. But now that they made that big step, they're kind of taking a step back because they're too afraid, to, in my opinion, to continue on with his phenomenal rogue gallery with different characters. They made Scarecrow awesome.
Yeah,
I liked
really cool.
Scarecrow in the game better than I liked Scarecrow in Batman Begins. Ra's al Ghul was phenomenal, and I love Liam Neeson. He did a great job in the movie, but I really enjoyed the change of pace with the character, what they did in the game. And then, as much as I love Mark Hamill, and he will always, to me, be the best Joker ever,
Definitely.
Mr. Freeze really stole Arkham City.
Yeah.
His storyline was phenomenal. So they have this awesome rogue gallery that they can continue on to tell these stories. We don't need the prequel. They finally did it right. They've got this awesome franchise. Continue on. You had the balls to do it once. Don't get scared now. Keep going.
I guess where our views are differing is because I for the first time throughout my entire life finally feel that both the movie series as well as the video game series are finally in the right hands. And I'm a little scared too. Batman's coming out in 48 hours. The third,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
the final
good.
movie. The final movie in
In the trilogy,
Christopher Nolan's
at least.
trilogy. Excuse me.
You better go on more.
I may cry.
Yeah.
I may, just because I might
'Cause
never
I-
get to see another one.
Well, that and because their movie rumors there's a reason there's not going to be any other Batman movies after this. Long story short,
yeah.
we're not getting on that.
Oh,
But-
God.
So I'm going to start crying now.
guys.
I feel that they kind of, like in the second one, I got a little worried that they blew their load because I feel that Two-Face was not. It feels like they made a great movie with the Joker, and then he slapped in
Two-Face.
Two-Face for like 30 minutes at the end, as
And-
opposed to exploring it in its own possible movie.
I
And now-
felt they did the same thing with Scarecrow in the first one.
Yeah.
They could have just run with Ra's al Ghul
Yeah.
and not even touch Scarecrow. He was a second-class villain in that movie.
Oh, and now it seems like he just kind of like I don't know, because Bane. The more trailers you see, he looks more and more badass
With his
Yeah, he
with his
But-
reptile mask for
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
But when I initially
Yeah.
saw the preview, like, way back when,
Yeah.
I was kind of like, Bane, that's who they're going with. But you just got to have some faith that you look at what he's done in Begins and The Dark Knight.
and his two other movies that he's done.
The Prestige.
Well, The Prestige is
and
one of my
Inception.
favorite movies ever, and Inception was very good as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
The guy built a certain pedigree where you just got to let him do his thing and see what happens. And to me, that's what Rockstar did.
Steady.
Or Rocksteady, excuse
Rocksteady,
me,
yeah.
Rocksteady. Every Batman game ever has sucked, and then they came out with back-to-back home runs. They knocked those games out of the park.
Yeah.
And you just got to have, sure, it might look a little Silver Age-ish,
Silver Age, yes.
but, I mean, if there's anyone that's going to do it, a Silver Age Batman right, I bet it's fucking them.
To an extent, yeah, I'm still gonna try the game out. I'm not gonna just base it off of the possibility of it being kind of campy or whatever you want to call it. The 2 points that I want to bring up, the two directions that I would have preferred to see is if they're gonna rewind and do a prequel. The animated series actually did some of that, where they kind of there's no specific time frame for when the movie really takes place. They have references to the 30s with the art style, and then they have a little bit of future. But they would do some monotone, almost black and white rewinds back when they were younger and everything like that. They could do a prequel and make it very noir and kind of 1930s and gritty, and that would still be okay with me. With the brown belt with the buckles on it, as opposed to the ugly yellow
Badass
belt that he
looking
wears.
suit,
Or and what I would much more prefer, they teased it a little bit in one of the DLC packs, is they made a Batman Beyond costume,
Yeah.
which would be continuity-wise and logical to me to continue the story, because then now you have Bruce Wayne as an old, decrepit man, which they kind of play on a little bit in the movie. I don't know if you've paid much attention, but he actually has a cane in Dark Knight Rises.
Okay.
So they
yeah,
made him
I've
older.
seen the one trailer, and I don't want to watch any more
I'm
of it.
not really giving anything away.
No, that's
They
fine,
fast
yeah.
forward 7 years, and he's a little bit more beat up, which kind of plays back into the Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. They're making him a little bit older, a little bit more beat up. And that's what it was in Batman Beyond. And he basically brought in a new Batman. And I know trying to think about the possibility of a Batman game without Joker is like thinking of Halo without Cortana.
Yeah.
You know, or you know, Link without Ganon, which they've done before. But in Batman Beyond, the Joker was gone, and a gang. He just got another achievement. There was a gang called the Jokers that kind of picked up and ran with it, and I think a futuristic and expanding on, instead of just the Arkham City, the quote unquote prison, having access to the entire city. Kind of like, and again, I hate to reference it, but the Lego games kind of got it right this time around, especially with when they brought in the other DC heroes. They can go that route a little bit, because the other portion of the rumor that we didn't touch on is they're actually talking about incorporating non-Batman characters in the Batman prequel. That's kind of been brought up a little bit.
That's the one part of this I'm not so happy about. If you want to make a DC Universe-esque game,
they were called the Justice League.
Yeah, but if you want to let those guys do it,
yeah,
the guys at Rocksteady do it, because they could probably do it better than I heard. There
was the rumor of the Superman game.
The Superman, yeah. Because like we said, they're building this pedigree, especially under the video game world, where they're not going to screw these characters up.
That, now they're directly owned by Warner Brothers, so they have access to like the entire
archive.
The entire library.
But with it just, if you're going to make a Batman game, make a Batman game, because I'm not particularly fond of pretty much everybody in DC's kind of lame. I'm not trying to start a flame war. I like Batman, and if I was to get more into comics, I'd probably go Marvel.
I would too,
actually, because I
actually.
like the X-Men and whatnot far better than.
I agree. I mean, like, I'm probably the same with like what superheroes I like.
It's just Batman from DC. I mean, everybody from
part,
Batman. It was a different era when those guys were created.
Sure.
It was the whole, like, the scare of the Germans, and it was just like these supermodel-esque American.
I hate Superman.
Cookie cutter.
Well,
he's kind of a douche.
Yeah, Superman is the ultimate Boy Scout, and I absolutely hate Superman. And here comes another spoiler for any of the 6-year-olds that are playing Lego Batman, myself included. The cool thing is in the game, Superman's invincible. You can't hurt him. He's got every power known to man in the game. He can freeze stuff, he shoots lasers, he can fly, and he can pick up stuff. And then halfway through the game, they cripple him. They gimp him. He gets hit with kryptonite, and he can't do anything anymore. So then he goes from being the character that you're kind of forced to play as because he has access to everything, to like the crutch, which was actually pretty cool. I was really happy when they did that.
The only reason I'm going to see Superman movie next year is because Christopher Nolan's doing it.
That, and because it's filmed here in Chicago.
Well, that would be awesome.
I'm sure he's going to do it better than.
Oh yeah, I'm sure better than anyone else can right now.
If there's the guy that's going to make me want to go out and see a Superman,
that's the only reason. Like, literally, I would skip it otherwise.
Because I hate. It's exactly like you said. He's such a Boy Scout. Because, like, if I would probably, if I was able to write it, I would make it so wrong that all the serious fanboys of Superman will get upset. But I would probably make Superman a pretty entertaining individual, because I wouldn't make him like that. I would change what makes him him.
It's the same thing with my beef with Captain America on the Marvel side. Is he's cookie cutter, Boy Scout goody two shoes.
Well, he was created to directly
here's
go
where
against Superman.
Here's where it gets kind of cool, though, right? It was probably about 10, 12 years ago now. Marvel kind of relaunched everything with a more adult-esque. It was called the House of M, and they did a play on the Avengers called The Ultimates, in which in the Ultimates, Captain America was no longer Mr. Goody Two Shoes, Hulk Hogan, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, red, white, and blue Boy Scout. He was more of a grizzled. I'd more compare him to a Vietnam veteran, where he just is like, fuck you, you're going to do what I say because I'm the boss, I'm the guy in charge. Actually, at one point, to get Bruce Banner to turn into the Incredible Hulk, I believe it was, he kicked him in the nuts.
Nice.
Yeah, so but again, I get where you're coming from.
Superman could be made cool because if you just take the most basic principles from Superman, he's from another planet. He can't touch kryptonite or even be around it. He's kind of an alien.
Here's my play.
He's an alien.
Here's my play on a Superman game because just like Batman, there hasn't been a good Superman game.
In fact, the Superman Returns on N64 is considered one of the worst.
Superman
games of all
64,
time.
yeah,
Superman 64. That's the one. Yeah.
Here's
considered one of the worst games of all time.
Yes.
If you go to most sites.
yeah. What I would do,
That's hard to do against like E.T. from
Yeah.
Atari.
Yeah.
it's right up there with it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Here's what I would do. I would actually, if you start taking away Superman's invincibility and all that other crap that kind of makes
That's
him
gonna make
Superman,
those fanboys mad.
yeah. Here's what I would do. As opposed to having Superman take damage, you have the city take damage as you're fighting these villains and everything, and have maybe the city and the people's belief in you and their and kind of sway a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, have like almost a morality, like, all right, you've got to fight this guy, but you got to try to pull him away from this area because it's a park, and you know people are gonna get pissed off, and the more damage you do, the more the people hate you and don't follow you, and that's where Superman's real power is because, you know, everybody likes Superman.
That is ridiculous. That's a good idea, but is so ridiculously far off what my head was going. My head was going in this totally different direction where it's almost the baddie, whoever it is, Lex Luthor.
Brainiac.
Okay.
Go.
Kind of creates some kind of an environment. I'm almost thinking Gears 2 with the Razor Hail.
Okay.
Some kind of environment where Superman's going in and out of environments that are basically with enough kryptonite to not make him be able to just romp everybody, where he's almost brought down to humility. But then there's certain areas where he could pop out and it won't be the kryptonite wouldn't be as strong.
Yeah.
So you could showcase some of the powers, but it'd show him getting down and dirty because he wouldn't be able to just stop a bullet because of all the kryptonite. And I don't know exactly where I'm going because, like I said, I don't know all the background with Superman.
No, I mean that's not necessary.
That doesn't
They've
seem
done
like a real thing. Like Superman in a dark and gritty.
Yeah.
It'd be his struggle
I'm so
against.
used to the original TV show. I've seen like most of those episodes actually.
See, I watched Smallville, but I didn't. Whatever.
we don't talk about Smallville.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't
Smallville
bring
wasn't
up
like.
Smallville.
Yeah.
To kind of bring this back, another option would be the Superman Batman game, which I know Lego kind of did a little bit, and they had a lot of these two characters are so polar opposites of each other. They're a perfect buddy cop movie, essentially. You know, one's the asshole detective, and then you have Superman, Mr. Goody Two Shoes, always there at the last minute to save the day. And I think it would make a really good dynamic because it actually is. There was, I don't know if it continues or not, a Superman Batman solo comic book, and in like one of the first issues, Superman comes into the Batcave, and at the time, Batman had a big black Mastiff dog, and he goes, you know, your dog and your butler guard the entrance to your secret fortress, and all Batman says is, you've got crypto, and just kind of leaves it at that. But again, the dynamic between those two would be pretty cool. Again, like I said, Rocksteady, I'm gonna play the game. I'm going to try it because I have faith in them. I just think they're kind of missing the boat on capitalizing on the grittiness and realism of Christopher Nolan and what they've done with the game so
and
far.
what people are expecting at this point.
and they're taking it in a drastic turn into the past, which I give them props for trying something completely different.
Maybe tell some of the story that's probably been lost to, I guess, you know, the generations.
Here's what I want to bring up. We should probably move on soon.
Yeah.
Since this isn't a discussion question.
Yeah, this isn't even the topic of the week yet. But for me, the last thing I got to bring in is with what you're saying right now. It makes sense, but you're also not looking at it. This could be Rocksteady's ODST. It really doesn't have.
Ew.
No, well, no, I didn't mean it.
I know. I just had to. I had to get that Halo jab in.
Yeah,
there.
I didn't mean
Look
it
at
as-
he's smiling.
was not a fan of ODST.
I didn't mean for anybody to picture this as it like the worst Batman game. What I'm saying is,
how are they gonna do horde mode? I mean, not horde mode. He's playing Gears.
Firefight.
It's not my fault.
Firefight. Okay. What? It could just be the spin-off to bring. Like they could very well be working on Arkham City 2. Okay, this could just.
It was called Arkham World.
Yes. They could be working. They could be working on Arkham World for all we know, and that could be the third part of the trilogy where Joker is in fact dead, and all these things have come to fruition. But this could be their break. They want to try something new, and it's their spin-off. That'll be good. It just won't have to do with your.
And I agree, and also too. As much as I want to give, I want to take them literal when they say Silver Age, meaning the visuals and the type of stories from the Silver Age, they could just be referencing some of the older content, like the first meeting of Batman.
The first stories,
exactly.
But not go with the art
if
style.
If you will, what it's called now
is
is Year One, is what they tend to call it, which is basically what Begins was essentially Year One, where he's not necessarily Batman yet. He's still learning what to do and how to do it, and I hope that's the direction they take it in. But either way, I'm gonna give it a shot. Again, it is nothing more than
it's tempting to see what they want to do with it.
Yeah. And until Rocksteady comes out and says, yes, this is what we're working on. Here's a picture. Then I'm gonna take it for what it is with a grain of salt. And it's a rumor. It's some young exec. Yeah. Sitting in Warner Brothers' ivory tower and tweeted something because he overheard something in a board meeting.
Because literally, I mean, they still can do that dark, gritty, but use the story from the Year One.
Exactly.
I mean, it'd still work.
Yeah,
and it'd be a completely new story that comic book nerds are gonna love, and people who are unaware think it's gonna be a good story.
I agree.
I have total faith.
Well, that ends my Batman rant for this week.
I have a lot of faith in them. I'm done with that too, though. You all good? Any closing comments?
Yeah,
on
I'm
Batman?
good. It sucks because on Sunday when we did the first recording, I had a ton to say.
Yeah, this was killer. I wish we didn't lose that tape.
It's okay.
Yeah. I contributed a little bit more, but everything got covered that I had said on Sunday with what they said. So
you echoed a lot of the sentiments that I had. So I mean, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, I think it's gonna kick ass.
All right, well, just to save face, we're gonna take one more save really quick, and then we're gonna jump into
we're super paranoid this week. We're saving every 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna save, and then we're gonna jump into the topic of the week. So give us a second. We'll be right back. All right, and right before we get into the top of the week, we're gonna change it up a little bit. We're gonna do our outro song. We're gonna do an 8-bit song, and we're gonna give a shout out to the first person on Facebook that can name what the song is. Since some of them can kind of be a little tricky.
Well, that's the first comment. We can figure it out. It doesn't have to be on Facebook, does it?
No, any of
Andrew, I feel because one of our most loyal listeners typically posts on YouTube.
Fair enough,
and it does let you know the date and time that they post.
The first person to post on any of the interwebs naming what song we use will get a shout out the following week. Yes. Something new that we're gonna try. We're gonna play around with. 99% of them will be video game related. We may mix it up a little bit here and there. But,
I have some good ones.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. So again, make sure to listen to the outro song this week and give us some feedback. Let us know if you can figure out what it is.
And that'll take us into Tony's topic of the week.
We really need to get an audio file for just that and plug it in every week right there. It's professional recording.
This week, it's a little old now, but it's still very, very relevant and very big news in the video game world. This week, we're going to talk about the newly announced Kickstarter program, the Ouya.
Ouya!
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 Actually, that's how they want it enunciated, is Ouya!
I keep thinking of the Kool-Aid guy. I keep thinking of the Kool-Aid guy, though. When he breaks through the wall, oh, yeah! I know he says it a little bit, but that's what I picture, is the Kool-Aid guy busting through a wall with this new video game console in his hand.
Replacing my wall before my dad gets home!
All right, so I'm going to give a quick rundown and explain what this is in case you guys haven't been on the internet in the last 2 weeks and you haven't seen this.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say if you've never been on the internet.
Yeah. But the Ouya is...
And thank you for finding us. If you've never been on the internet before, you come straight to
It
us.
was Ford compatible this week.
How lucky is that?
Yeah.
Your first website you ever visited is us. Okay. What it is, it's a $99 console that is going to be coming out.
Smexy.
To me, from the initial pictures, it looks like it's just a controller and an internet-connected box that will plug into your television. It's going to run off the Android 4.0, 4.1?
4.1 would be Jelly Bean, which is Jelly Bean. Yeah, Jelly Bean, which is out like this week or something, last week.
So it's going to run off the newest Android
We're from the
system,
future.
So it's going to basically be open source.
I'm making the show Ford compatible.
Yeah, you are. Take that. Whatchamacallit? They actually encourage hacking and modding. And just some quick specs, and then we'll get into some initial thoughts. And, of course, I scrolled up
and the
Well,
train
he
of
takes a
thought
moment
is
to
gone.
to find out his page. Our correspondent is now in Paris.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey!
Um,
He likes the wine and the cheese.
cheese. Okay, the specs so far, from what we know, is you got a Tegra 3 quad-core processor, 1 gig of RAM.
What was that? What was the brand on it again? It's sort of like a...
Tegra 3. Oh, I don't.
If you know who they are, let me know. Never heard of them in my whole life. I'm usually pretty tech savvy on these things. But anyhow, go on.
1 gig of RAM, 8 gigs of internal flash storage, and HDMI out to TV, so you'll be able to support 1080p. It's got the Wi-Fi 802.11, blah, blah, blah. Basically,
You can have internet.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And Bluetooth 4.0, which is the latest version. So you'll be able to actually...
Use
have
all devices, including new ones.
Yeah, earpiece devices. So there's your chat. It's going to have USB 2.0.
Boo. I mean,
Wire-
that's fine, but it's
Wireless controllers, Android 4.0 to better answer our question.
3.0 is one of the most useless things, or underutilized, I should say, right now anyway.
3.0 it costs too much, dude.
Costs too much, and just not enough things are using it. Like, the only thing I even is a hard drive, external hard drives, 3.0. That's the best thing you got right now.
Yeah.
Nothing else really matters yet.
And even that's when you're transferring data ridiculous amounts of time. If
Yeah.
it's just
No, like, yeah.
if it's just one time that you're just putting it on, who cares?
Oh,
about
yeah, no, I mean,
it's
like,
not worth the extra money.
yeah, I mean, there's no point. Like, your keyboard, why would that need a 3.0? You know, it's silly like that. stuff.
Faster keystrokes.
Fast.
But,
Makes
I
your
want to
fingers
search my
faster.
porn quicker.
So let's get some initial thoughts. Don't go too deep into it because I got all my bullet points and
I'll go deep into it.
get all of them in there.
Dick pics.
Yeah, take this.
Oh, for first initial thoughts? Literally, when you look at the actual specs of it, it's going to be faster. I mean, I'm sure it's a quad core. It's going to be fast. It's going to be able to support basically anything that your 360 would run. Literally, it's got double the RAM. It's got a quad core processor in it. I mean, literally, it's almost like a little mini PC. You could even think of it as.
Yeah, it sounds to me like a 2-year-old would have run everything.
Yeah, that's probably about right. I mean, because like literally, tech goes down pretty quick. First year, it's about $600. The year after, about $200. So you might be talking about like 3-year-old tech around that range for them to bundle us all together and still hopefully make money.
Jace?
You know, it looks good. It sounds good. But again, it's not brought to us by any major developers. So I'm not going to get too far into it. But you know, I'm going to be the pretty much the debate here.
Okay.
So I'll let you touch
Get him,
base on
Tony.
some
Well,
of
I know when we did this the first time, I was against you guys. I think I slowly brought you guys into my way.
I think you sold Mark.
Yeah.
A little bit more, yeah.
I'm still going to give you a hard time.
Yeah, no, by all
just
means.
for the sake
I want to
of
bring it over.
exactly, just for the sake of the debate.
I'm still not
So-
a purchaser of this, but
It sounds
it
better than what you
sounds-
initially
yeah,
thought.
It's, yeah.
Okay.
So,
for me,
so that I don't get too far into it, I'm going to let you go ahead and,
Yeah.
and start hitting your bullet points, and I'll tag up on you.
First and foremost, we're looking at the price point. It's less than $100. To put that in perspective, that's less than roughly a game and a half on your
it's like a
current system.
collector's edition these days.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a collector's edition these days. It's a controller and a game. nowadays. It's just Xbox Live for 1 year and a controller. It's nothing. It's to me, because they're actually advertising as they want you to mod and hack and break into this thing. They're okay with it.
Yeah, I'm interested what that really means, what they're going to allow you to do.
Immediately, I think emulators. I know that's what I said last time.
No, because like literally, like most tablets at this day, you can unlock, and you have a laptop that is pretty darn fast for a really cheap price point, which is something that they could turn that into a console.
Yep.
That could run whatever you want. Like literally, you could get a disc tray that does dual layer DVDs and play your 360 games on it. Yep. Possibility.
This thing off the bat sounds like the best emulation. Literally overnight, I know you can have it on PCs. I get that. I get PCs run emulators. I'm not fucking clueless. But you have
they
to
run
play.
emulators?
The problem with it is, and even hardcore PC guys have to admit, it's a little weird playing a Sega Genesis game on a keyboard. Okay? It's a lot easier to make a transition to...
yeah, you gotta learn how to use Joy-to-Key. That's the same thing.
Something that's familiar. Yeah, but see, you have to run all these extra programs for something that... This thing automatically, overnight, becomes the best emulation running machine immediately.
Here's my couple of things. You know, you go over the specs and everything sounds good. The $100 price point sounds a little too good to be true. Okay, since this thing's promising to do all these awesome features, I want to see how many of those actually end up being in there. When you talk about hacking and modding, my mind goes more towards upgrading the hardware on it as opposed to emulators and everything.
I think emulators is a huge selling point for me, but I agree that it's virtually nothing in what they are expecting.
I will bring up my issue with the emulator is that it's all pirate. Nobody actually says, hey, take my game that I can make money off of and have it for free.
Well,
for the most part, with the big developers.
Oh yeah, but literally, if you do like the actual making of emulators there's nothing wrong with making emulators that play games. The problem comes with people who are downloading the ROMs or the ISOs or whatever, and they don't actually own it.
Sure.
I know some of the arguments. I'm not exactly sure. I tried to look it up one day, but if you actually own the game, you actually do own rights to have like that digital copy of it in current day, which is a lot of people's excuse for downloading Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, and I mean that falls into a little bit of all forms of media. Like people. Some companies go, I don't want you copying our movie over to digital content, or don't steal our music, so on and so forth.
Well, then you had the I think the first disc that did it, this is DVDs. Iron Man 1, I think, was the first one. If you'd actually put it into your computer and it read like software or even hardware that it didn't like it was thinking it was being pirated or copied, the disc would basically like internally combust.
Yeah, it would erase everything.
Everything.
As opposed to, I recently purchased the Jurassic Park trilogy on Blu-ray, and they gave you free digital copies.
Yeah, most of them have moved on to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think is the argument of the emulator, like actual software stuff, is how movies have gone to. You get a disc and a digital copy.
Yeah,
you're thinking, hey, that game is in my closet. It's been there for 10 years. I can get a digital copy with it now.
Without getting too deep into the piracy moral,
that's a debate for another day.
It's a moral debate.
I think my issue with it though is that in order for this system to succeed, they're going to need support from some of the bigger developers.
Yeah,
and if you're able to copy Call of Duty 1 onto this thing, I don't see
or Call of Duty Classic as they call it in the system.
I don't see Activision supporting you with whatever form of Call of Duty that they'd put on it,
because of how they're marketing it as. It seems like right now they're saying it's easy to steal. Like literally, if you go to the Kickstarter page, it's kind of what they say.
Well, that's what the Android market is.
Well, yeah, that's also true about the Android market. It's easy to steal, and that's how this is being marketed as. So I do think some developers are definitely going to be shying away from this just
Which
from the...
some developers already shy away from the Android market,
That's
like
true.
Epic. There's no reason that your phone couldn't play Infinity Blade, but Epic's
Heck, it
going
might
to
even run it better. I
Yeah,
don't know.
Epic-
It's Android.
this- No, this is
Everything
true.
on
Better.
Android is on Pirate Bay. There's no reason to ever buy an app.
Yeah,
the-
that's my point.
Yeah.
But Epic's like, hey, we want to make
What
some money.
you want .apk, yours.
So again,
The thing, what I'm saying, when I'm talking emulators, I'm not talking modern day.
no, I
pirated
get
no,
that.
I
You're
totally
talking
get what
about
you mean.
more
I'm
like
talking
ones.
playing Super Nintendo games.
you're talking like
Plus,
good old
emulators
games
for
and
new
stuff like
games
that.
don't actually work 100%.
Yeah.
PS2
I'm
was
talking,
like the last one.
yeah, I'm
that
talking
really
old school
worked,
stuff like
or
Shiny
partially
Entertainment or whatever is not even in existence anymore. So they're not really. There's no one to care. There's no way to buy Earthworm Jim 2 and give Shiny
worked.
Entertainment
for anything under
money.
like the
Sure.
$50
No,
or
you have to get the ROM. I don't agree with modern day piracy. But I do feel that like if you want to rip off an Atari 2600 game, Atari's not trying to sell me that 2600 game anymore.
Yeah.
Go pirate it.
I'm exactly the same way. I'm not for modern day piracy as well. The old stuff where I do have that copy of NHL PA 93 and the Sega Genesis that I still love to play. I want to download that because I've put hundreds of hours into that, and it's something that it's so hard to hook up the old systems nowadays.
That's
on
also
modern day TVs.
that's completely true because I rage quit trying to hook up my NES to my new TV. My point, and I guess
Why
that's
hook up Nintendo.
Call Nintendo.
that's another debate for another day for me, because that's a bigger issue for me. Why developers aren't putting out this old content, especially with the way that the mobile market kind of works now, with not even just video games, just apps in general, where you can buy Pac-Man for $1 and play it to your heart's content, and it makes money. People buy them.
Mm-hmm.
Why not put out the old NHLs or I mean, they put out the old Sonic Hedgehogs. More people need to support that. That's something for a different day, though. I don't want to get too far on that. But bringing it back to the ooh yeah, it's
Oh yeah.
thank you for making me completely lose focus of where I was going.
was
with
not
the,
the point.
the emulators were just one small thing. I think it's a great selling point, and to me personally, $100 is already worth it if it is what I think it will end up being, an ultimate emulator player. But aside from that, I mean, you got to take into account you have literally the entire Android market at your disposal. On
Which
your
is
television.
millions of things.
And new stuff's popping up every day. There's new developers that are going to be making new games, and it's also going to open up a whole new world because people aren't going to have to be worried about making these Android apps work on a little 4-inch screen / 10-inch screen. You're going to have the ability to pop it on a 42-inch screen now. So I think a whole new echelon of games is going to start coming out for $1, $2, $5, $10.
Yeah, you're gonna start being able to play your Minecraft on your Ouya.
Why you got to go there? I mean, I
Because
know
the
that
picture
I know the
of
picture shows Minecraft. Why you got to take it there? See, now you're again, because I went out and said that I'm going to debate it just for the sake of having somebody to debate it. Now you got to try to pull me over there with Minecraft. You know what? I've got Minecraft on my iPhone and it sucks. Okay,
What do you expect with that one?
look at that. I just bashed Apple.
Nice. Well, that'll be the one and only time. Mark this episode. I don't necessarily think this is. It very well could, because it's obviously twice as strong, like Mark said earlier, than the 360. I don't think this is going to be a huge like, hey, this is to run Battlefield 3, and hey, this is to run. What I think the whole purpose of this is to create a whole nother category in gaming, because you have your tiers of games, your $1 stuff that's typically on handhelds. Some it even goes up to $2 and $3. You have your junky $5 game on consoles. Those are typically your indies / what are they called on PlayStation? Minis.
Yeah.
You have your $5 and $10 games, and then you jump up to your $60 game.
Now,
This should open up this whole $30 to $40 range, or less even. 20, 15.
Here's my thing with that is these are pre-existing features built into a console. It's like a bonus, to be able to download some of these games and games that you wouldn't necessarily pay full retail for. But here you're going to pay $100 for a system to essentially run arcade games.
Well, I think they'd be better than arcade games, and you wouldn't have to pay the Microsoft and Sony price tag. It's clearly visible when you look at like something like Steam. Why does Limbo cost $15 on Xbox and it costs $1.50 on Steam if you wait for the sale?
Yeah.
It's because they don't have to go through the same hoops with Steam, and that's what this box would do.
And I get that.
So it can allow you to play these kingdoms, like these mid-range games, these Kingdoms of Amalur and stuff, as opposed to having to go buy them for $60 off the marketplace. You could pick them up maybe for $15 off the Android marketplace to play.
Why
on
you got to
Ouya.
bring Studio 38 into this?
Because they need the money.
They don't exist anymore. At least
Well, they still got to pay off. EA's got to pay the tab.
EA's got time.
Again, you bring up Steam, which is a great point. And I know you kind of said, it's better to play it on a console than to sit at your computer. But why? For me, I'm going to invest $100 to play something that I can walk 5 feet and sit down in front of and play.
It's going to be sitting next to my console already.
Yeah, I'm saying my computer,
Or
my personal computer
mine's
connects
inches
to my
away.
I connect it to my TV and I can play games on it. And I have a USB controller, which most, for the best part, you can critique and modify.
That's the thing. You have to critique and modify and update drivers and constant fucking garbage.
I have Apple.
Yes,
I don't have any drivers.
Yes, it can eventually work. Yes.
If you know how to keep
takes-
everything, pretty good. Like, Lily, I know you usually have some like tech problems with that kind of thing,
It's always,
setting them up.
There's
Well,
always something. There's,
Here's where
that's my whole issue with PC gaming. There's always something. You can't just sit down and play the fucking game.
Here's where I will defend you on that with the Ouya. I'm a Apple user. I have an iPad, I have an iPhone, and I have the Mac. Right. I prefer it because of, and you can make fun of me if you want, the simplicity of using it. Okay.
It's what were we calling it?
You calling it like stupid proof.
Stupid proof.
And it is because I regardless, but it's like a universal control for everything. It makes it easier if you're
Like
playing
the
it on the
360 controller is now.
Yeah, if you're playing
Looking
it,
at you, Nintendo and Ouya.
Yeah, ripping off the
exact. But that's my point, and then that's where I'm going to agree with you. If you, instead of having to sit down and configure everything and take the 45 minutes to get the setup
Get
running
extra-
properly
get
and
extra
going,
programs like what's the controller one called?
Joy to Key.
Joy to
yeah,
Key.
to get it to just boom, you
Ouya
you
just
hit a power
works.
button, you click it, and you start it. I
Well,
will give it
hopefully.
that.
This would also have to do a lot with the developers supporting the controller. Like, the Android app plays, most of those games aren't designed to be on a controller. Some of them have been on the tablets,
Yeah.
have converted over to the USB controller, or the Bluetooth controller. But that's not all of them. Like, so you are still limiting yourself to the amount of games right now because you're going to have games that are even being still made. Like, a lot of those games out right now, they're already way onto another project, that kind of thing.
Well, the good thing is, like, what they were initially asking for when they started this Kickstarter was only $950,000, roughly. They
Yeah, I think it was
they
about
ended
that.
up raising just shy, currently, of $5 million.
And they still got like 20 days left on that.
And they
Kickstarter,
still
I think.
20. So they actually have $4.1 million extra dollars than what they needed to finance this project. That they're actually having the community vote on what they would like the people who pre-ordered or what have you chipped into the Kickstarter, what they would want them to do, and some of the biggest options are either start or buy outright some first-party developers, or to start converting everything and to just open up a bunch of guys. Open up a bunch of studios.
With
to
that
start-
extra money, they could buy 3 copies of the Crytek engine. That's a little knock at them because they were making
Ridiculous
fun of
expensive.
Unreal a few weeks ago.
But they can. That's what they want that money to go and do is go open up all these studios because this is still a ways away. It's not like the Ouya is releasing tomorrow. They're obviously going to have the developers.
Yeah, it's like
building
2014 right
games.
now.
They're going to have them. They're going to have. This could potentially have the largest launch lineup of all time.
Yeah.
But here's another thing, and you just brought it up. We're already dealing with 2-year-old tech that's gonna. I'm not gonna say it's gonna compete with Microsoft and Sony.
Yeah. Like I
it's
said,
going
I've
more.
never heard of that chip. Like the people making.
It's going more
that.
towards, I'd say, like the Steam market, in my opinion. Okay, so we're already 2 years behind, and then when it releases, we're going to be another year to 2 years behind.
Couldn't you even imagine if they just got, instead of doing all that with those studios, they just got Steam on board?
That's all you'd have to do is make a Steam app.
I mean, screw Origin because they suck. Go
You
to
can have Steam and Origin on your console. It's Android.
No, don't do the Origin.
Where's my
And
Apple Steam box?
What if that's your front page? Picture that like a slate, like what Windows 8 is going to look like. That's when you open the Ouya, and all of a sudden, you got your Netflix tab.
So now all of a sudden it's got Netflix.
Yeah. So it's got like picture it, I guess almost slated like a tablet with. You have Netflix. You'd have good old games. You'd have one for Steam, one for Origins, and so on and so forth.
Oh no, not the Origins.
You'd literally have access to all these different guys that don't want to just culminate into one. You'd have something that can bring everything together. So you don't
Kind of like how my Xbox does now.
No, because Xbox doesn't.
Ooh, I think I'm. Are you leaning back towards my side a little bit there?
No, because Xbox doesn't do it. Xbox is the closest.
Look at him. He's like, no, come back.
Oh,
come
no.
back to my side.
Don't do it, Mark.
Don't do it.
Okay. Okay. Now let's. What do you guys think so far? Do you think this could take off?
Take off. Like literally, they're at, they have like 4,000 buys right now or something. Is that what it is? Way more right now on the actual consoles. Yeah. Okay, because I know like they didn't have enough money for the development of how many they actually were getting.
Everything was done. They didn't have money to manufacture.
Yeah, it was a manufacturing cost. So, I mean, you're still talking about a really small percent of the market right now. A lot of this is still not being talked about very much, I guess. I don't know. Like, you have to see what's going to happen with it more. It's kind of one of those, let's see what it does until you're going to get the hundreds of thousands of people to get it,
I'm kind of like, all right, well, you got the money. Now it's time to step up and show it.
Exactly.
I really want to see, a indie console, if you will, kind of take off. It sounds good.
Almost like the N-Gage.
Here we go again.
I just don't think this thing is going to go.
Tony Hawk was awesome on the N-Gage, damn it.
I bought a phone.
I'm going to go on eBay, okay, and I'm going to find a fucking N-Gage, okay,
Tony Hawk.
and we are going to have a live stream Tony Hawk N-Gage session at some point.
Those things can't be worth more than
$5.
Okay.
The Tony Hawk cartridge might be
they're
worth
probably
more.
a few $100s because they're rare.
I just don't think this thing is ever going to like truly combat. I think it's like meant to be additional alongside your 360 and your PS3. I don't think it's meant to even be in the same ballpark. Even though it could be, it has the power. But I think there's going to be legal issues with the developers and whatnot. So they're going to have to make their own games with their own developers and stuff. I don't know if this particular one is going to take off. What I think is going to take off is the idea, the option of what this physically opens up.
The seed of it, pretty much.
I really think Android, like the not the original like launch of Android, but like in the recent versions of it, where it has given you that much options to how to just use your phone. Like Apple restricts you because it's stupid proof.
Yeah.
You have the Windows Phone, which doesn't have nearly the marketplace of either of those.
Did you not learn from Sunday? You're not
You have
supposed to make fun of Apple while we're recording on Apple until we're done.
No.
Okay.
You have BlackBerry that can... It's great if you need popcorn. You just put 3 or 4 of those together and you pop your popcorn. But other than that, I mean, like literally the Android gave you so many more options I don't think phones really had before that. You were just kind of given something. You weren't allowed to do that much with it.
You weren't allowed to do what you wanted with it.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can unlock it, but, like, technically, that you're going out of your way a little bit for that. Android kind of gave it to you right off the bat. And I think this is a little bit in the looking glass of, a few years down the road from that.
Coming from somebody, if I were to look, who has very, very limited access or exposure to Android, being that I'm on my like 5th iPhone. I am interested in an aspect to at least try out this system and see what it has to offer. I could honestly, no offense, care less what the phone does. But I want to see the console live up to this potential that it has. I do know what the power of the Android market and the abilities that it has. But again, I've got my phone. I'm happy with that. But in the console aspect, though, I am intrigued to an extent.
I mean,
to see how it works.
They've even taken over the tablet market. Nearly all of them are running off some kind of Android thing. Apple is now the minority. I guess in the tablet race.
Well, the iPod or iPad is still the greatest selling tablet.
It's still the greatest selling, but the
one model.
Well,
the Androids together will always outsell
Apple. I was gonna say all of the new tablets.
We're getting an Apple bashing here. I'm about to get angry.
I'm just saying all the new tablets right now are running on Android. If you're counting on Apple, because you got the Google Nexus just came out this week, which is running off of their new operating system. And I think with that, you're starting to get into some serious power that is going to be put into this console.
I also think we're getting too hung up on I've read a lot of articles on this, and Android is it's more open than what we're picturing, because we're stuck in the mind frame of what Android is like on a cell phone and on a tablet. When it's on a console, it's going to be something completely different.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just going to be like an oversized tablet on your TV. That's not what it's going to be. They're just using the power, the physical engine of Android
to run this. That's what I was talking about. How, I mean, it's good now. It's only going to get better when you put better material into it, and that's kind of what I was getting at before.
The cool thing, what I think this is going to be, though, is it very well may fail. This thing could flop.
Like the N-Gage.
But what I think it's doing is it's opening the door for this kind of possibility, this open world platform, this device that you're no longer restricted to what Xbox or Microsoft or Nintendo makes you do. I remember last week I was getting really upset about the whole Miiverse thing. This is kind of the anti Big Brother console, you don't have to fucking go through all those hoops to get your game on Xbox Live, and you don't have to deal with the shitty PlayStation Network, and you don't have to deal with Nintendo fucking restricting everything because they're worried about their public image. This is just, it's fucking Android. It's fuck off. It's
on the flip side, okay, it does open up the possibility of, I don't want to get into it too much, but personal data being taken to an extent. With that freedom does come some.
Are you talking about Sony? Or are you talking about this console coming out?
I'm talking about the freedom that this console is offering to be able to kind of build your game the way you want. Well, there's going to be people that are going to try to build something that's going to take advantage of people, because they always do. Yeah. I mean, it even happens on Apple. Everybody knows about the fake Pokemon game that went up and crap like that.
Oh yeah, one of the best-selling games.
It was the fake Pokemon game. Yeah,
it was Pokemon Yellow.
But with that freedom does come a level of risk to that regard, where you're going to have possibly some people being taken advantage of because of the open access to this.
I don't think that's going to be as much of a problem as we think, because like stuff like that happens.
I don't think it's going to be as much as like the phones and things like that.
Because this just happens day in, day out, no matter what. Literally, at this time, we're talking about a very limited market that's going to be getting this right away. Yes, there's probably going to be some issues with that, but I think
very minor concern, but just something I kind of wanted to put out there.
Some of the people who are getting this, I really think are a little bit more tech savvy and maybe know what to look out for in that regard.
It's also easily preventable just running off points cards. Points cards take away 99% of the issues.
I was more talking about like since it's so open that you can build a game, but you can always hide something in there to be able to then in
He's
return
talking about
kinda-
like the App Store because he brought up the
But what are
Pokemon
they physically
one.
going to get as long as you don't put like your credit card info in there? Like, what can they do besides?
There's a lot though. I mean, it depends on the way
Depends
that you
on what
structure.
they want to know.
Exactly.
There's been on the App Store. I'm pretty sure at this point it's been on both console, where like you're getting a normal app, but underneath it all, there's actually this like. Basically, it's recording what you do. It's it's market research really. When you agree to some of those terms, you don't really know what you're agreeing to.
They literally. I mean, obviously, it's not going to work with the council.
You don't read those agreements.
But like
we
they
going
can
with a South
literally
Park
they
reference
can
there?
they
Okay.
can. Again, it's not going to happen so much with the console. You're going to get it more with the mobile devices, but they can literally Big Brother. They can track your every move.
See
through
what
an
you're
app
doing.
that
You know,
you
like
have.
like I said, like a lot of this was said
And
to
it could be
market
something as
research
stupid
for
as
some
like
big
a.
companies.
It could be a movie review app that you check movie reviews on.
I mean, at this
1
point,
star means 5 star.
At this point, that's virtually everything, though. I mean, your cell phone.
Well,
if,
yeah.
If whoever makes your cell phone really wants to monitor your use,
Yeah.
But I'm talking more about not necessarily
well,
companies.
Android's Google. It's
yeah.
Google. Google watches everything you do anyway because you use it 100 fucking times a day.
Again,
Well,
I
that's
get
why
that.
we're going to
I
Bing.
think we're kind of getting away from my meaning though. I don't personally. I don't give two rats' asses what Microsoft and Sony and Apple and Google if they know when I'm taking a shit. I'm worried about the people that can steal my email address and get my passwords. Know when I'm taking a shit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
People that are going to make these homegrown apps or programs that can potentially theoretically bring harm to you. You know, again, yeah, it sucks that the big corporations can access that, but you know they can do that
I'm
anyway.
gonna have to say I'm gonna side with Tony on this just because it is Google. This is not as much of a problem I think anymore with when stuff like this got out. The monitoring for the apps is pretty. I would have to say legit at this point just to see that you're not doing anything sketchy.
Again,
It's a minor concern, but the whole
Yeah, no,
internet,
I
the
get what
whole
you mean.
internet is a minor concern.
It is, and
Yeah.
I'm just adding that
Yeah.
fact in there
Yeah,
because
I mean-
we didn't touch
Oh, yeah,
base
we
on
didn't
it
actually
before.
hit on that. That's a new one.
See, I'm throwing you a
Throwing
curveball.
curveballs.
Curveballs.
Do we think the big games are going to come? The AAAs.
No,
No,
I'm
not
doubting.
until they get a market.
I'm doubting it myself. I agree because, but it's really not hard because when you think about it, you take a game like for example, Red Dead Redemption. It's already available digitally on the PCs, the 360 Marketplace, and PSN.
I get where you're
So-
getting at. You still have to go. That's still production cost for the studio.
Not much
Converting it over.
Even if there's only like a 10,000 person
not
user
much,
base,
but you're marketing it towards a very very small
okay.
market.
But say there's 10,000 and you just commit one or two people to retyping some code. I don't really know how it works. I don't imagine it's ridiculously
Look
a
at the
lot.
look on Mark's face.
He's just like, you son of a bitch.
He's talking about a few $100,000. No big deal.
Use some big words. It's just like I don't know. And then you could sell this for $10 on your Android platform.
I don't think you'll see somebody. You won't see the AAA titles, but
Yeah.
what I do see being a possibility is the developers that are a little bit more savvy, like Epic and things like that, maybe producing something for it directly, like an exclusive, like you brought up before. You'll never ever see Call of Duty on it. I don't think you're going to see things like that. But is like a version of Infinity Blade possible? Sure, because that's developed specifically for those.
I have to say, the only reason I think any major developer is going to even think about touching this console is when it's being sold in GameStop. It's being sold in a major retail store. Once they get a hold of it, that is because that's where your markets will come from. If it's all coming from this digital thing, I know most companies want to go digital, but if the console isn't getting the sales to get noticed by major retail companies, I don't think they're going to get that support from that.
Before we go any further, because again, to reference what we recorded last time, Tony did bring up a good point, and I don't want it to fall by the wayside. You were going to bring up Peter
Malamalu.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, because that was a decent point.
What happened was, I see, I'm starting to get scared because a lot of these developers, with the way the industry is going right now, is if you don't sell a gazillion copies and make 10 times the investment money back and so on and so forth.
Kingdoms of Valimar, right?
Yeah,
38 Studios.
That's what 38
Studios.
Yeah, just all these companies are going under, and what it's seeming like is because there's such big development costs because of the hoops you have to jump through for Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo, just to get the dev kits are gazillion dollars. Then you have to go buy an engine through.
Yeah,
through
that's why everyone goes Unreal. Unreal has a decent price point. Crytek are all like, "Oh, our engine's so much
$10
better."
million,
it's
right?
$1 million for
yeah.
one.
That's what I meant.
Yeah,
For an
studio
engine.
copy of it.
Yeah, then you have to. You know how many games you have to sell just to make your $1 million back just for the engine? That's not even getting your game on the
sometimes you might need
platform.
multiple copies
Yeah,
depending on what you're doing.
And that's not paying a staff or
Oh, no, millions of dollars.
And that's again that's a full retail game. You figure after you cut your costs, you're literally you're going to have to sell somewhere in the ballpark of close to 2 million copies of the game just to pay back that engine.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It seems it's like so that's what's happening. It seems like a lot of these guys from there's a couple other studios I can't think of off the top of my head, but the biggest example is Peter Malamalu straight up leaving Lionhead just to create another studio because he's getting tired of all this BS and all these hoops he's got to jump through.
Bull.
He's going mobile. He's going to go start.
It was Fable the Journey.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't want to make a Connect game.
Yeah.
You're making a Connect game. I'm leaving.
and now he's running to the mobile platform because it costs virtually nothing for a dev kit and
Double Fine.
Yeah.
Double Fine's another one.
Yeah.
You know that they're focusing more on
they don't.
the indie aspect of
Yeah,
it, if you will.
they're basically like they're not done with consoles, but they've been exclusively like working with PC.
Yeah, I mean they did
It's-
release
it's-
Costume Quest and that weird ass Sesame Street game.
Yeah,
but-
I mean it's
because you could just get your game out to people.
Yeah.
And you could
And-
charge what you want to charge. Like with Microsoft, there's no, hey, we think this is like
Yeah.
a $3.50 game. It's
For-
like, no, you don't. This is an 800-point game. That's
Yeah.
it. Take it or fucking leave it. And if your game isn't worth it, you may suffer in sales because Microsoft's forcing you to overcharge for it.
Damn it! I got to bring up another point that's going to agree with Tony.
I was going to go.
Pisses
with
me
the,
off.
But see, you don't run into any of this on Ouya.
Hold on, that's I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
another
go-
good
go
point,
for it.
and I brought it up last time, and I have a Mac, and there's a game out there called Arma 2, with a mod called the
DayZ
mod, which is extremely popular, and I've been watching videos on this, and I really want to play it. The only way I can play it is by installing a copy of Windows on my Mac and using Boot Camp and all this other
Oh, I
crap.
should've said,
And
"Ooh,
again,
yeah."
jumping through all those hoops to get it
Boot
to
Camp.
work properly. When
You mean to get
potential-
your Mac to work properly? Is what you're trying to say?
shut up. When potentially the
Look at Andy over
system
there with that
could,
grin.
could offer that to me, or another point that I brought up. Damn it! I play City of Heroes. I prior to this played it on my TV screen. Used to sit in the couch that you're sitting in right there. Bought a new TV, and now the formats won't sync up properly and doesn't work properly. So now I have to go to this. Either way, though, it's all a pipe dream. Those are what I'd like to see.
I actually think I know why your TV isn't working. We'll discuss it after.
Oh,
I
well,
think I
yeah.
actually just figured it
Okay,
out.
then
No,
you know
no,
what?
'cause Mark talked me through because I remember when I first started, all my shit was wrong on 1080p, and he talked me through it. But again, that goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's just more fucking adjustments.
Yeah.
The Wii
But
is just ready.
it's got to the reason that I bought the Mac that I have, okay, is because I know it would support my game with no problems. I'm interested in this, but they've got to show me everything up front that I'm going to want out of it.
What you can put into
Exactly, before I'm going to invest any time or any
it.
money.
If it turns out to
with-
be a $100 computer, that's awesome.
then I'm on board until Steam decides to release their non-existent console. I'm to that extent I'm on board. But again, it's it's got to do what I need it to do first. And it sounds good, but they got to show me first. They got to show me up front.
I got one more point, and then we could wrap it up with some final thoughts.
All right.
The last thing I wanted to bring up is, because I know you guys alluded to this a little earlier, is the $100 price point and how we feel that the tech, by the time this thing actually comes out, may be a little outdated. I just want to bring up there's no real nothing really holding them back to even a year or two afterwards releasing a $150 version with twice the specs. Because at the time, now you're playing with either the launch window or directly after the launch window of your PS360 or your
Xbox.
I want that system.
PS4.
Your next box.
Yeah, next box. You're right in that launch window or 6 months after it or what have you. And those things presumably will be in the $400 to $500 range. And you can offer something in the $150 range, because this first one could just be their trial period.
Oh yeah, definitely.
To get their feet wet, and within a year or two, all of a sudden, because that's not really gouging people if you're only charging them $100, and then a couple years later you're like, well, now it's $150 and it's got twice the power.
But see, that's where I think that where your mind went to emulators, my mind went to the hardware, where it's you buy the base package for $100. And then you can upgrade it to your heart's content. But again, then there's because I'm trying to stay opposed to you for, again, the sake of the conversation. They're selling you a $100 system that then you've got to go out and spend more money on to upgrade to get it to do the things that you want it to do.
You could go put another $100 alone worth of RAM into it.
Exactly. So I mean, that's another aspect they need to give more detail. In my opinion,
the reason I don't think the details out there is because I don't think they just know themselves yet until it's put together.
I'm saying closer. As
this
develops.
Definitely. Those details will definitely come.
Yeah,
the whole thing is the world of possibility that it's opening. So I don't know. You guys want to wrap it up then?
Yeah,
sure. Let's bring it home.
Who wants to?
Jason, start it.
I'm on the fence. If Tony was to pick one up, I definitely would come over and try it. Give it a shot, but like I've said from the start, they've got to show me everything up front. I've got to see exactly if you want me to invest my time and my money. Granted, it's only $100, but if you want me to invest my time into it, then you've got to put it all out on Front Street, and show everything that the possibilities are, instead of kind of playing with words like they're doing now.
Yeah.
I'm definitely agreeing with that, with the fact that I'm not sold on this console. I mean, this is probably something I will never get, Tony, because you've totally donated to the Kickstarter program already.
I've not.
That's the other point. Like, come on, man. You're all about this. Give them some money.
Open up that
They
pocketbook.
quadrupled their asking money.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
So
I'm
what's
gonna buy
$5? What's $5?
go get a developer console for $700.
There you
Yeah,
go.
totally.
Then we'll be on board, because we can make that Karma Sutra game.
Yeah, Karma Sutra.
See, we come full
And
circle
then,
on this show.
Start with it, end with it. But yeah, like, Tony, you get it. I'll definitely try it out. I want to see what they do with it, because like there is some cool ideas that we brought up today that could lead to this being a really cool idea. But if it's gonna be like tablets, the reason tablets don't really interest me right now is they do what my phone can almost do, that kind of thing. Like, I have a beast of a computer, I have a cell phone. Putting those two together right now doesn't seem interesting to me right now. But, like we've been talking about, there's some interesting ideas that might come out of it. Cool stuff. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on, and we'll see where it goes with this then.
It's like you just said, for me, it brings up, look at what we just thought of. 3, average guys sitting in a room just spitballing.
Hey! I'm slightly above average.
3 slightly above average.
Whoa. You said I was beautiful earlier
Pretty
in this
attractive,
podcast.
pretty attractive males sitting around in a room.
Beautiful.
Look at what we came up with. Just shooting the shit in 45 minutes. Imagine if this was our job. You're when this comes out.
We might get a job out of
When
this.
this comes out, you're going to have millions of people like ideas stemming that can turn this into an entire world of possibility. For me, the $100
So
price.
what you're saying is a bunch of porn games,
There's gonna be, dude. It's just gonna be a porn bar.
just
Yeah.
boobs everywhere,
Kama
and
Sutra
dick pics.
2, the return of the
and dick pics.
Sutra.
To me, I look at something like the Roku box, which costs $60 or $70 in its
Man,
own right.
he's old or something. I don't know what that is.
Phantom
What is he talking about?
crickets.
You don't know what a Roku box is?
No, I do. But do you know what the Phantom is?
They do not.
It was a system that was pretty much
These guys are
said
old.
all this stuff about 5 years ago. It was even like debuted at E3, and then it went poof.
Okay.
These guys
I
are
have
old.
no idea.
E3, what's that?
Look it
What's
up.
that?
It's all about Comic-Con.
The Roku box is $60-$70 in its own right, and that does little more than stream Netflix, stream Amazon Instant Video, and a couple like MLB.
So are you talking about everything my Xbox does now?
Exactly. This thing's $20 or $30 more, and has the potential to have a limitless access to video games, on top of other stuff. To me, if it does what I assume it will, which would be the ultimate emulation machine, I don't even need it hooked up online. This would be, for $100, would be well worth it to have the entire Atari 2600 catalog.
So what
Super
Tony's
Nintendo-
saying is he wants a stupid-proof emulator.
Yeah.
That alone,
Apple,
a
go to it.
A stupid-proof emulator for $100
Da-da-da-da.
that has the potential to do all this other crap. Just the $100 alone, like what Mark's saying, for this perfect all-around emulator alone is worth $100 to
I
me.
like how this guy's got $100, man. I'm eating ramen.
Yeah, you want to go
But then on top of that, it has access to literally everything else. You don't have to have your Xbox on anymore. Fucking getting your red ring and
red
eating up-
dots.
Yeah, red dots and worrying about your controller or the stupid smart glass that might come out and help you with Netflix. You can just stream Netflix off your Ouya. Done.
Hey, that smart glass works better than my stupid Kinect does when I'm trying to say Xbox next episode, instant buy.
The only problem I've had is my Bing does not work ever.
My Bing's.
My Bing doesn't work
I don't
ever.
think Bing works when you
think
access it from a computer.
Ooh.
Take that, Microsoft. Ooh,
Yeah.
stick it in your pooper.
Yeah.
Oh.
There goes.
That's all I got.
All right. So
after
we bring
midnight,
it
what do you
home then,
expect?
because there's a couple
Go ahead if you
unrelated
gotta- you
things.
gotta say another thing
Well,
or two.
no. I just wanted, because we mentioned it on the non-existent recording, but we should probably plug a couple of things. Twitters
At, what are we at?
at FC Compatible.
Yes.
You can tweet us.
Tweet us.
Tweet us.
You can tweet us.
Facebook.
We're on the Foss Books.
The Foss Books is a good one.
Forward
So is the
Compatible
YouTubes,
Podcast.
because I definitely check all those
Yeah,
every week.
Forward Compatible Podcast. We check them all the time, guys.
But we love to get
Yeah.
more.
We've got the YouTubes.
We got, the YouTubes.
The YouTubes. And we have our website.
Our own channel. Please subscribe, guys.
Yeah.
Even if you can't get to them all every week, they help us. Give us the likes on the Facebooks, on the Foss Books.
Yeah. And then
We
make
have
sure
a
to check
Gmail.
out the
What is it?
The Gmail is forwardcompatiblepodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
and forwardcompatible.org. One last thing that
Yeah.
we kind of kicked around that I wouldn't mind throwing out there. If you're local, we're actually talking about going to Wizard World Comic-Con, which is coming up.
I totally forgot
Which
about
is
that.
coming
Yeah,
up.
we've been invited, actually. They're
yeah,
giving us some free tickets, I hear.
Yeah, we're gonna have some special passes. So if you are local
In Chicago.
if you are local or if you're coming from out of town, send
Actually,
us a
we'd like,
message.
we'd like you better if we're out of town. That
Yeah.
would be pretty sweet.
That would be awesome. If you are coming in for this, shoot us an email. We'll let you know where we'll be.
If you're there and you meet up with us, I will buy you as long as you're of age, I will buy you a beer.
Cool. Yeah. So come find us. We
Hey,
might have
I can't get you wasted. I'm not rich. I'll buy you a beer.
because he's
But he
saving up
has
for his
$100
Ouya.
and
I
we're
got
all
$100
eating
bucks for an
ramen.
Ouya.
So
Yeah, $100
but
to get you
I have a
drunk.
bunch of Boulon cubes at home, and I make soup all night, and he's got $100 bills all day.
yeah, pretty much. Let us know if you're going. We might have some cool stuff for you. Something.
We could do some giveaways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We got
people.
we got a lot of
We
lot
got
of cool
friends in
things
low
coming.
places.
I got swag I can give away.
I got swag.
know,
This
and-
beer comes in 24 ounces.
So, and also, if you don't mind, check Mark's thing out. Let us know what you guys think of that. He just did one. What was it? A day or two ago.
Yeah, last night.
We kind of alluded to this earlier. We're gonna do. Yeah, go.
I did a video, just kind of like a commentary on Half-Life 2. I was kind of like at midnight, so I'm in a weird mood. So I'm kind of silly. Like literally, I'm playing with Half-Life 2, and I'm throwing stuff like the entire video.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy it at least. Go check it out. It's like a 12-minute video. I cut it short just for the sake of it, and just watch 3-4 minutes. It usually gets better near the end, in my opinion, but whatever.
We want to do, we want to start doing some goofy stuff on.
This is goofy.
Online. We're going to be.
It's called Not Without My Milk, Part 1.
Nice.
You'll understand why if you watch the video.
Yeah, we're definitely we're going to start doing some more recordings and getting out there a little bit more. I know, like I said, I'm going to do like a Minecraft one.
Yeah, definitely.
We don't want to double all of our secrets.
Yeah, well,
Well,
I'm going to do the Minecraft one this week.
We got some
that
good.
and you know what? We're gonna have Angry Andy run through something kind of cool in Gears for us.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and do whatever PC games I got. You guys are gonna have some console capture cards
some
to
good
mess
stuff.
around with.
Yeah.
So
Some good stuff.
So we got some stuff coming. So keep an eye out.
Check back often.
Let us know if there's any particular games you want to see us
yeah,
mess
definitely.
around with, because we're definitely down for that.
and literally, if it's a PC game, I maybe have it. I have a pretty large Steam catalog. If you've been watching this over for a few weeks, I have quite a bit of money in my wallet.
We're forgetting one very important thing. Tony has been challenged by someone.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I should. I don't know if this is going on 100%.
Well, I mean, but it's still a possibility. So throw it out there. It'll happen at some point.
Okay.
Come on. You've been challenged,
Yes,
sir.
Yes.
Called
I was
out.
I was hanging out with Mossies the other night, and
We just jumped 50 viewers by saying his name.
Yeah,
we
we'll tag
are-
that in the everything.
We're talking about doing a little friendly, of course, because we work with them. A little Zelda Dungeon versus forward compatible, and we're not sure on the
man.
game yet. We're debating between either the original Super Mario
I'm gonna
or
lose.
Sonic, maybe one of the Sonics.
Take
So
it to
bad at old games.
the web.
Old school.
Yeah, I was
School.
gonna say, what the
Well, yeah, we'll
website.
probably do it on Zelda Dungeon though. to
Yeah,
get way more
but no, what I'm
votes.
saying is
No. Ask what game.
Yeah, to ask what game you
our-
get more
our-
votes.
But we could get our guys in there too.
Yeah.
Go on, tell us what game you want to see these guys speed run through.
We're actually gonna hook up. We're gonna link because he's got a capture card that'll split on screen. So we're actually gonna like have two TVs next to each other. No, if we do Mario, no warping, no of any sort. You have to physically go through every.
Tony
single
sounds
stage.
a little scared.
Yeah, he does. He's like, I don't know how to do this.
Oh, he just
This
gave
would be
me a-
worse with me. Like, literally, find the worst Zelda Dungeon player for, like, platformers. I'll go up against him, because that one will be interesting, because it'll be a battle of the sucks.
Now,
Yeah.
now here's the best part, right?
so whoever that
do
is,
have,
let me know.
We
We'll
do have
go
a
head-to-head.
ringer for any shooters and shit that we want to do. I know you're good at shooters, Tony.
We got
but
some
yeah.
secret weapons.
Yeah, we got
But yeah, that
He'll
that,
fly
that-
in from from
that
Paris.
may or may not be coming. I'm pretty sure we'll end up doing it.
some type of interaction coming up soon.
Yeah,
Look out for that.
But aside from that, yeah, keep with us, guys. We got a lot of cool stuff in the works.
Yeah.
So
Don't forget to listen to the song that's coming up in just a few seconds here.
So
For a
aside
free
from
shout-out.
that, this has been episode 23. Thanks for tuning in. Catch us same time next week.
Well, no, not same time.
Oh, yeah, Sunday.
Back to
Normal
our
time.
original time.
We'll be back.
Back to our
Actually,
original
and it won't
time.
even really be. It'll be like in 4 days.
Yeah,
Again.
here we go with the 4 days
But-
again.
Hopefully, after today, this will be our last Tuesday broadcast for at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Due to technical difficulties, we were pretty sure we have this all down at this
Yeah,
point.
don't look at me. We're doing all right. I'm watching it. Take it home. Take it home, sir.
This has been episode 23. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you guys next week.
Peace.
Okay, bye.